Right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Football Chat Live. The last game of the season is upon us. The most important game of the season is upon us. It's the Champions League final, Manchester City versus Inter Milan. A very, very exciting game indeed. Gotta love the Champions League final. It's a very emotional moment because obviously we're at the end of the season, so it's exciting. We get the Champions League final, but it's also sad that the season's coming to an end. So hopefully we end with a banging stream, a banging game. It's an all-round banging evening. But yeah, I'm joined by Harry, as always. It would be weird if I was joined by anyone else for such a momentous occasion.
Hello everyone. As you said, I'm in the mood for a banging stream. I'm in the mood for a banging game. And what a way to end the season with a Champions League final. This is it. This is what we've waited for. Yeah. Since we started playing Champions League football in October, we've already seen 2 European competitions wrapped up. This is the final one. This is the big one. This is one that everyone cares about and that everyone will be watching. It's going to be big.
Now, we say this is our last game of the season. We are back next Friday. But, yeah, last game of the domestic season and our last stream for a week. We thought this would be our last stream, obviously, the England games, but... yeah, it is nice. It's nice to have a bit of a break after this. Obviously, we do have 2 more, obviously, as I've mentioned, but nice to have a little break from domestic football.
It is.
And we get now into the transfers, the most exciting part of the year. But, Chelsea fan, welcome to the stream. Great to see you, mate. Last game of the season. Come on, City. You're just cheering on City today, Chelsea fan. That surprises me. I
think everyone in the world is cheering on Inter Milan with 57 minutes till kick-off.
I don't know anyone that's not a City fan that's supporting City tonight.
Yeah.
Except maybe AC Milan fans, but everyone in England, at least, that I've spoken to.
No, I don't know anyone on City to win, just because obviously they don't know them to win the treble. They've never won the Champions League before. No one wants them to win the treble. City could write their name in history. They could write their name in history tonight, winning it for the first time, completing a brilliant treble, and probably putting a statement out there saying they're one of the best sides to ever play world football.
Potentially, their treble would be a momentous result. Matteo has said, with a very controversial statement. Welcome to the stream, by the way, mate. But he said, let's be honest, there's no favourites in a final. I don't think that's strictly true. I think while a final acts as a level playing field, they're still favourites. Man City are still one of the best sides we've ever seen play football. Definitely the strongest side this season. And arguably... well, no, unarguably, they are favourites. I don't think necessarily... yeah, I see what Matteo's trying to say, in that it's a final, it is all levelled out. To a certain extent, City are still favourites.
It's one of those, City are favourites, but anything can happen in a final. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen when it comes to final. A cup final, a competition final. Man City, could they bottle it? Could Inter Milan take advantage of that? Who knows?
I'm sure we'll ponder all the possibilities, all the plausibilities over the next hour. We have got a while till kick-off. Should we start, though, with the lineups, as we always do? Matthew's saying, I am Inter, though. Yeah, I'm Inter. Inter will be the hardest test for City. The final will be the hardest test, I would say, for City, because obviously they've only got to one of these before. They did lose that. But Pep hasn't overthought it today, as was him from his lineup and his tactics. So we'll start, then, with the lineups, as we always do. Manchester City, the designated home side. In alphabetical order, of course, we are in Istanbul tonight. We have seen a famous Milan side lose in dramatic fashion in Istanbul before. Hopefully not the same result, indeed. But hopefully not the same result today. We'll start Manchester City. Ederson in between the sticks. No shocks there. Stefan Ortega started their last game, the FA Cup final, but obviously that was the FA Cup final. He played every game in that competition. Made complete sense. Back three then of Akanji, Diaz, Ake. Slightly intriguing to see Kyle Walker not in the side. Ake coming back immediately from his return from injury. Other than that, it's full strength. It's what they've played all season. Just a slight... I don't know. I would have expected to see Walker maybe to help deal with DeMarco's presence on the left-hand side, but I think Akanji is a more than capable defender. I don't really think they'll need his pace today. Obviously, we know how Inter are going to play. They're going to go long with the ball every time. Having physical strikers to try and combat Edin Dzeko probably makes the most sense. In the pivot then, John Stones and Rodri, of course, the very fluid system, but when they're in possession, they'll play that 2 midfield. Stones and Rodri have been solid this year, would have made no sense to swap that. On the right, Bernardo Silva, he's had an excellent campaign. Grealish on the left can definitely be a shot factor, a game changer in this game. He can pick up the ball, he can run at them. Attack midfielders then, Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan, the captain for Manchester City. It would make no sense dropping either of these. They're integral to the way City play and excellent players.
End of season Gundogan is probably one of the best players we'll see in the season.
Indeed. And then, of course, leading the line is none other than Erling Haaland. And I'm sure we'll mention him at some point over the next hour as well. As for their opponents tonight, the away side, it's Simone Inzaghi's Inter team, and they're playing the same lineup, same tactics as they've gone for most of the games this season. Andre Onana is in between the sticks now. Onana could be pivotal tonight. Onana's role in the side, not only as the shot stopper, but also their key distributor. Milan will look to go long with every single ball, or Inter, will look to go long with every single ball. Onana will be key to that. They're not playing out the back today. They're not going to try and play through the City press, just over the top of it. Find Edin Dzeko. Hopefully you can get something from the knockdowns. Back three then of Matteo Darmian, Acerbi and Bastoni. Of course, Darmian will be familiar with City from his time at Manchester United. Never really had much joy against them though, did he? Yeah. And I think he is a bit of a weak link in this Inter side. Acerbi, though, a magnificent player, and I'm glad he's got the opportunity to play in a Champions League final. I did see him talk today quite emotionally about how he's glad to have got to this point in his career. So yeah, nice to see a player like Acerbi, who's not someone you put up there as world class, but definitely someone whose career deserves its accolades. And Bastoni, young defender, wakes up that back three. Across the five then, Dumfries, DiMarco, the wing backs. They've got to make this pitch wide today. Inter Milan, they've got to, but their wing backs have also got to be disciplined. They can't go walkabouts and allow Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish to find spaces out wide. They've got to be disciplined.
Realistically, for most of this game, it is going to be more of a 5 than a 3. They're going to be tight. They're going to be defensive. They're not going to have chances to get forward very often.
Inter are going to look to invite that pressure though, and then just spin it on the counter attack. That's exactly how they're going to play.
If the wing backs don't drop back, then there's no point in inviting that pressure. It is for Inter. It is about if you're going to sit deep, but you then have to be ready to sprint.
They don't tend to take up a 5-3-2 too often though. Inter, they tend to sit in that 3-5-2. The wing backs will follow the runners back, of course, but they don't tend to change shape too often. Midfield three then, and a slight change here, but it's Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Nicola Brea and captain Marcelo Brozovic. Interestingly then, Henrik Mkhitaryan, who was crucial in that semi-finals, got the all-important second goal for Inter that helped them knock out AC, but dropped from the side tonight in favour of Brozovic. So a slight rejiggle. Çalhanoğlu goes to the box-to-box left central midfielder. Brozovic then comes into play that DM role, that deep-lying playmaker role. I don't know if it does make sense.
I think he's more defensive, and you need a bit more steel in that midfield. It's already a 4-on-3. They're gonna need strength in there. They're very, very good captain, very good leader. He is Croatian. We know the Croatian success rate in the Champions League. I think it makes perfect sense.
I'd have just stuck with what they knew. They've played a midfield three of Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Brea all season. That he's reinvented Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan. Çalhanoğlu before was a creative wide man, and he's made him a defensive midfielder.
Man City up there with one of the few opponents that you have to change your team for.
I don't think you have to change your team, but you definitely have to adopt a slightly different mindset.
Exactly, they make you edit. They do, and that's what they've done.
I think maybe Brozovic's deployed two-man mark De Bruyne would be my guess.
If Inzaghi was playing Udinese at home, he'd probably start Mkhitaryan, but it's not Udinese at home. It's Manchester City in the Champions League final.
Yeah, I do get your point. I just find it strange to drop Mkhitaryan, who's been so pivotal, in favour of a player that's played rotational season.
Yeah,
but Inzaghi has made that call. It'll be interesting to see whether he's made the right call. Then the front two, no Romelu Lukaku tonight. Edin Dzeko, Lautaro Martinez are the front two. No surprises there, but a very strong front two. We know exactly how they're going to play this. Edin Dzeko is your target forward. Lautaro's going to be looking to pick up the scraps off of anything that Dzeko can win in the air. And they'll look to go route one with the ball every time they have it. It's not going to be beautiful, pretty football tonight from Inter Milan. It's going to be pump it long, see what you can get.
2 ways Inter Milan win tonight. It's either route one and get Dzeko to flick it onto Lautaro, or you get the ball out wide and you cross the ball into Dzeko. They're not going to win the midfield
ultimately,
battle.
You've got to go over the top first. It's exactly how Inter play. Inter don't have much possession. In a lot of their games this season, they've picked up very, very low possession statistics because they don't like to hold on to the ball for long. If they've got the ball, it's over the top. It's trying to find Dzeko with the pass. I think they can't, if they try to go out to the wing backs, they should be out to the wing backs, which is an option because that is how they like to play into when Onana has the ball at his feet. You've got the options of the wing backs. You've got Edin Dzeko. We've also got Barella, who likes to take up positions where he can receive the ball. And given his stature, he is surprisingly good at winning the ball in the air. So they've got options from distribution. I think they'll look to go long with it every time, though. I think if the centre backs touch it for more than a second tonight, any given time, I think I'd be surprised.
It's going to be... Don't write Inter off, but it is good. They have to probably put in their best performance in this season, obviously.
I wouldn't write them off at all because I think tactically they can outdo Guardiola, and it's not going to be because it's some sort of tactical masterclass. It's just going to be, can you Jose Mourinho it? Can you just make use of every touch you get at the ball and just put pressure on City whenever you can, but also stay regimented in your defensive structure, maintain stability despite City's incredible possession play. I think that's going to be pivotal for Milan to
if you work 10, even that 10% harder than the opposition, you will win the game. They have to. If they can
I still think City at 5%.
Okay.
If
they can outwork Manchester City then, and they can just keep going, they will have a chance tonight. They've got huge support, very very passionate Inter fans, brilliant occasion, brilliant stadium. They're up for it. The players will be up for it. They've got to give City a good game, and I think they will. This will be close. No matter what the result is, it will be close.
Yeah, we'll zoom in on some key battles in just a moment. But firstly, there's been a couple of messages in chat. Currently, Chelsea fan and Matteo discussing Yuri Tielemans going to Aston Villa on a free.
Brilliant filler.
It's certainly a brilliant bit of business, I would say. I'm surprised no bigger sides were taking a look at sniffing around Yuri Tielemans. Matteo also ponders, I think Mkhitaryan will be a later player due to his speed. Potentially, he could be an impact player, and that may be what Inzaghi is thinking. If we can keep it narrow, if we can keep it tight, maybe we can then introduce Mkhitaryan later into the game. And Brozovic is a bit more balanced. I don't know, because obviously, normally you'd look at playing two attacking midfielders and Borré as a midfield three as suicidal, but Mkhitaryan's been reinvented to be a box-to-box midfielder this season, which is, stunning. How on earth Inzaghi's pulled that off, I don't know. And Çalhanoğlu's become a deep-line playmaker, so... Yeah, he's worked miracles with what he's got there, Inzaghi. But yeah, weird to see Mkhitaryan drop tonight. But of course, Brozovic, very experienced, could be big.
Just back to that point of being impact, that is going to obviously be a huge part of tonight's game. If it is still 0-0 or 1-0 to either side, Inter Milan, they can call on players like Mkhitaryan, like Romelu Lukaku to change the game. But City can do the same. Riyad Mahrez, we know he's a game changer. Wand of a left foot, any set piece.
Well, we know obviously
City going to cause problems.
City have the much stronger bench. When you can look at Julian Alvarez, I was about to say Alcaraz, Julian Alvarez, you can look at Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez. They've definitely got options off the bench tonight that can cause a lot of problems for Inter Milan. Yeah, BT brought a stack.
I think they've brought 20 people. I've counted 12.
But what they've done here is they've brought the Italian broadcast, the Italian pundits, because they actually have watched Inter this season. They've not got Rio Ferdinand just said, wow, bloody hell, the atmosphere's great, isn't it?
Well, it's really loud in here. Constantly. I like it.
But yeah. Should we look at some of those key battles then? Yes. As I said, I think the first one I want to focus on is going to be Erling Haaland versus the back three. Because I think Erling Haaland can struggle tonight.
They've got to hound him.
That's what they're going to do, though. If you look at how Real Madrid dealt with Haaland,
they're just holding him the whole game.
Well, exactly. Getting players on him, make sure he can't get many touches on the ball. I think they'll do a similar job on Haaland tonight, and if not to a much greater degree, because if you think Haaland wasn't involved in the Real game, it's going to be a whole different story tonight in terms of... I don't think Haaland's going to get a touch.
And if he does, Cherby will go through the back of him.
Exactly. Cherby's going to be following him everywhere he goes. I just don't see a way he's involved tonight. If they can get Brozovic marking De Bruyne out the game, then they start to limit some of the threats of City. Of course, we still know that Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan pose incredible threats to Inter Milan. But if you can start limiting a few threats and learn how to deal with the new ones that emerge... And you just start to make the game a little bit easier for yourself. Of course, a Champions League final against one of the strongest sides we've ever seen is never going to be an easy game. But you can start to deal with those threats.
As you say, if they just sit on Haaland, if they remain defensively regimented, and if one or two shots get through, I think Andre Onana are very, very reliable.
Yeah.
So if they can limit the shots on target, if you say he's only got to save like 3 or 4 shots in the first half, I'd back him to save them all, as long as obviously they're not like perlers, like top right and nothing to do about it. Yeah. But I think Inter they cannot drop their game, they cannot drop their guard. They have to keep up a performance of the highest standard for 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
But it's going to be interesting. It's good because I think they can take the Haaland out of the game, but obviously they still have everyone else to deal with. I mean, you said Jose Mourinho it, and it will be things like smart fouls, not a silly free kick, not a free kick that's going to get you
starting to get in the mind of the opposition.
A kick here and there, a few touches on and off the ball, just to get in their head, because it will. City they've been here before and they've lost. It's a trophy they've never won. If you can get in their heads and if they don't score, say 50 minutes in, 60 minutes in, they'll start to worry.
I don't know if they'll necessarily start to worry, but you do obviously help yourself out by not conceding. But yeah, I do think Inter's primary job tonight is to not concede, and then if they can get a goal, they get a goal. But the longer, as you said, the longer they go in this game, the more chance they have of getting something out.
It's the same thing we say for every underdog in every single knockout stage. The longer the game goes without Inter conceding, the better chance they have of winning.
Yeah.
Or the better chance they have getting something out of it.
Again, though, against City, that's not really true, because Manchester City will make a few changes. They'll start to weigh you down over time if they haven't immediately. So
my other point was going to be that you have to react to the City changes. If they bring on Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, starting Mahrez, if they bring on any, Foden, Palmer, whoever they bring on, you have to make sure the whole team reacts to it.
Palmer?
Well, you never know, he might come on.
Yeah, you might.
I just think because that's usually when teams can concede to City. They bring on Alvarez for Haaland in the 60th minute, and Alvarez scores immediately.
I don't see Haaland being subbed off at any point tonight, but more likely they bring on Alvarez in a different role, either Gundogan or De Bruyne. Again, you probably don't take De Bruyne off.
But you never know. Like we saw in the FA Cup final, United were played off the park, but they got a penalty. If Inter Milan could get a penalty, maybe I don't know. Man City gets sent off for some reason. Guardiola gets sent to the stands because he kicks a water bottle at the fourth official. Things like that, you never know in football. You never know what's going to happen.
I don't think, though, that Guardiola's going to get sent to the stands for booting a bottle at someone.
Well, you never know.
But yeah. Speaking of bottles, Josevan says, if Pep bottles it again, it will be funny. Yeah, I don't necessarily think Pep has ever bottled it with Manchester City.
He got it wrong 2 years ago.
I think he made a wrong tactical call to drop Rodri in that game, but ultimately, I don't think he bottled it. It's a Champions League final. In a league game, you can mention bottling it. That is a thing, because obviously teams can have big leads and you can then throw away them, but in a matter of games. But this is a one-off match where it all comes down to the night, the moment, the occasion. Ultimately, it's not a bottle if you don't come away with a victory in a Champions League final.
Yeah, to be fair.
No matter how big an underdog you are.
Yeah, true.
Man City will be too much for Inter tonight, but anything can happen. Indeed, anything can happen, and anything does happen sometimes. But yeah, as you say, City are incredibly strong. I don't disagree with that notion, Chelsea fan. I just think maybe Inter could pull something out of the bag tonight. I don't know though.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we're in Istanbul. Could we see another miracle?
Potentially we do see another miracle. It's going to take something like that for Inter to be able to get one over Manchester City tonight. Of course, big moment for both sides. This would be Manchester City's first title, but Inter Milan's fourth Champions League title.
I think what makes tonight interesting as well, and we spoke about it on our preview that went out yesterday,
thanks to the 3 people that watched.
The way both teams have got to the final, in terms of the challenges they've faced and who they've played, is really interesting.
Can you run for it now?
Yeah,
for everyone that hasn't watched the preview.
I think Inter had it easy, but that obviously doesn't warrant their play. That does, it still warrants a place in the final. They beat who they had to beat.
If the draw wasn't rigged,
we'll start with City.
They're lying. Anyway, yes, Champions League, of course, the group stage, fairly easy for Manchester City. I think they won all. Oh no, they did start drawing towards the end because they fielded a weakened side, but they battered Sevilla, Dortmund, Copenhagen on their way. They were unbeaten throughout the group stages. They went through that quite easily. Then into the round of 16 stage, where they managed to beat RB Leipzig over 2 legs. 1-1 in the first leg. We dared to dream that maybe Manchester City would be knocked out by Red Bull's favourite.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Of their franchises.
I remember watching the first leg. I thought, when it was 1-1, I thought, go to Etihad, Leipzig got a chance.
And then 7-0. Erling Haaland scored 5, right?
Yeah.
And he's ridiculous.
That's right, I get City are good, but no matter who you are, you don't draw 1-1 to a team in one game.
No.
And doesn't matter.
I think, though, after a few, you start to lose.
The difference between 1-1 and 7-0 is ridiculous. And that's why it's just annoying, because things like that, it does feel like teams do just fall apart against Man City.
Yeah.
As good as they are.
Up next then, it was Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals for Manchester City. They, of course, posed them a new challenge. There's a challenge that they struggled to deal with initially. I think they really struggled to press Bayern because Bayern just went along with it.
What was called the first leg?
3-0.
Oh.
In the first leg. But it took them a while to work out how to press Bayern. Of course, they did get that goal through Rodri, but then they changed something at half-time, gave Upamecano a lot of problems, and they quickly added another 2 to that.
That was probably one of the worst ones I've seen from a centre.
And then the second leg was a bit more of a formality in that the game was already done. City just played the game out, and, well, they drew 1-1 away at Bayern. Certainly not a bad result.
Job was almost done there. But yeah, no, dispatching of Leipzig with ease, dispatching of Bayern with ease eventually. They've been very convincing. And then speaking of dispatching of teams of ease, that came semi-finals.
Well, I wouldn't say it was at ease. The first leg was a hard-fought battle at the Bernabeu. Of course, 1-1 between Madrid and Manchester City. Everyone thought, the second leg's going to be good. Who's going to win? Nobody knows. But Manchester City, of course, won 4-0 because they are ridiculous.
I don't know what happens to City at home.
Well, they've got the hope. They've not got an away games are more difficult. They've not got the away crowd to deal with. They've got a home. Of course, they may not have the biggest home crowd in the world. It's not Anfield, it's not Old Trafford, but the absence of being away helps them.
They drew in the away leg.
They're still very strong away from home.
In every single away leg, they drew.
Yeah,
drew to Real away, drew and 1-0. They drew away. So then, how do they go to their home and win 7-0, 3-0, and 4-0? That's not just crowd.
Equally, Leipzig was a bit of a fluke result. Bayern they'd already won, and Real Madrid's a very tough game. And that is, it's not just crowd, it's the whole event of having to go away. You may have played Saturday, Sunday sort of time. You've then got to get on a plane, you've got to head over to an away ground, and then...
Real Madrid, reigning holders, won it 13, 14, 15 times.
Yeah.
And they rolled over 4-0. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
How that can happen. And I mean, now, imagine you're Inter Milan hearing that. They've now, they've now got to try and beat them. The team that beat the reigning champions 4-0. It's crazy. But I guess they'll give it their best. There's a chance they can do it. Who knows? Inter, they had it a lot easier, but they didn't make it look as convincing.
The draw was weird, wasn't it? They put 2 very difficult ties on the same side of the draw, 2 very much easier ties on the other side of the draw. Created a bit of a weird dynamic, but Inter Milan, they did not have it very easy, because if you go back to their group stage where they had to face Bayern, Barcelona and Victoria Plzen, which is not an easy group to get through, but they did pass through it. Of course, beating Barca at home, drawing away, won both games against Plzen, and didn't really need to worry then when they lost twice to Bayern Munich. Then through to the round of 16 stage, where a tie against Porto was never going to be an easy one, and to be honest, probably should have lost. Porto played the better stuff, but Inter scraped through a 1-0 victory in the first leg was all they needed, and then they were able to hold it 0-0 away at the Estadio de Drago in Porto. Then, of course, they headed to Benfica in the quarterfinals, where
I thought they'd lose.
They won the first leg 2-0 away from home. Should have been a formality from there. Was anything but. The second leg 3-3 in the end.
Mental.
Obviously, Benfica helped out by the fact they scored an 86th and 95th minute double right at the end of the game. By that point, it was already 5-1, and they just added some more goals. So, ultimately it made it look much closer than it was. But yeah, Inter passed through quite easily into the semi-finals, where they were against a much more familiar an opponent, AC Milan.
Yeah,
obviously their local rivals.
That was easy.
2-0 in the away leg, 1-0 in the home leg. Not that either were really away legs; they were both in the San Siro, and a lovely 3-0 victory on aggregate, where they looked much the stronger side. It has to be said.
They were. Yeah, I mean they deserve to be here, but this is their biggest test now. Manchester City in Istanbul, they're going to have to raise the performances by a good 10. They have to raise it a lot more than 10%. They have to times their performance by 10, really.
The problem for me with Inter Milan is that they've demonstrated that when they play teams of Manchester City's quality, they can't beat them. So in the league this season, they've not beaten Napoli, I don't believe, or at least weren't anywhere near them in the title fight. They lost to Bayern quite convincingly in both games in the groups. Yes, they beat Barcelona, but Barcelona were shaky in Europe this year. Dominated in the league, but very shaky in Europe. I don't think they've really played anyone of City's quality. And I know it's difficult to play teams of City's quality because City are so good, but you could at least get close. You could at least play a Liverpool, a Real Madrid, someone like that. But the fact they played Bayern, who are not a bad side at all, really, especially that Nagelsmann Bayern team, and they got rolled over both times, that worries me tonight that Inter can try and play this as... They try and do what they want, make this as difficult as possible for Manchester City. They can kick everything long, they can kick all the players. Ultimately, though, this City side are incredibly strong. There's every chance that Inter are powerless. Absolutely powerless too.
But this is the Champions League final. I touched on City's away form, not great in the Champions League. This is.
Again, it's not away though. It's neutral, and that does make a big difference. They're not playing against a crowd.
They ain't getting on a plane by the sounds of things. You never know. And it's like Inter will make the better noise. They're much more passionate. For me, it would fit. I think it would feel as more of a home game for Inter.
I don't know.
I think because I
think as much as they'll be loud tonight, it's not going to feel like a home game. It's going to feel like a European final. Neither sides, both sets of supporters will make noise tonight. Like means a lot to both sides. What evidence does suggest that they've struggled in away games, but this isn't an away game.
I mean, they've got here before and they've lost. They're not. I think they're not. They are beatable. And
but I think this City side now are a lot stronger than they were 2 years ago.
Right.
And they're playing much weaker opposition tonight. That Chelsea team back then were very good. They'd been set up by Thomas Tuchel in a manner which they could go and win one-off matches when they needed to. Yeah, that wasn't sustainable over a league season, but he managed to get those players up for the big games. City didn't have that at the time. Pep made a fundamental error by dropping Rodri. Those mistakes won't be made tonight, and they've now got a much more experienced side. The fact they've gone through that loss and come out the other side of it.
But I think Inter pose a different challenge that Chelsea do. I think it's a different. Different tactically. I think Inter will give them a good game. I really do. And if Inter go 1-0 up, then City will struggle. It doesn't matter. They might be the best team in the world. But if you go 1-0 down the Champions League final, where you've lost, where you've got a previous experience of losing, you'll start to panic. You will. Any club would. Any player would.
I don't think they panic.
Right.
I don't think that Manchester City are a side which do panic. They're taught to be calm. These are professional athletes. They know what they're doing tonight. If the game plan fails, they know they've just got to stick to it, and eventually they'll be fruitful. But I think tonight will be tough. I don't think that's really an argument against that. It will be a very difficult game. It's a Champions League final, but City are strong favourites. As Gary says, welcome to the stream, by the way. Very good morning. Excited for this one, despite City being heavy favourites. Yeah, that's the thing. It is, as much as you want a Champions League final that is closer, it's still a Champions League final.
They are heavy favourites, but I just think that final brings it it brings it a lot closer. Neutral venue.
It does bring it closer, but when the gap is so big, I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Unfortunately, tonight.
I think in Europe that gap is bridgeable. It's not like they're not just playing a random Premier League game. The Champions League final that bridges that gap, and Inter can give them a good game tonight, and they will give them a good game, and it will be close.
I do have my fears that City could walk this.
Oh no, they won't. They won't.
They might. Well, they might not. That's why I'm saying I have my fears. I don't think they will, but there's every chance that this City team are capable of winning this 4 or 5-0. As much as it may not seem plausible. This is a ridiculously good team.
It is.
There's every chance they do bag a couple tonight.
I genuinely don't. I don't see. I don't see a world where that happens.
Really?
I just don't think any side allows it to happen. No matter how good the opposition is, no matter how bad you are, in the biggest game in world football.
Use this word "allow" a lot with the big losses. I don't think any team allows. The City side are so good, there may not be a question for Inter being able to fight it off.
If you work hard enough, you don't concede 5-6 goals. You just don't. If you work hard enough and you keep going, you don't concede a load of goals.
Okay. We'll have to agree to disagree. I think that the results can be because the team is simply too good. And I think this City side are so good at football that ultimately, no matter how hard Inter try tonight, there's every chance City do just beat them. Because they are Manchester City and they are ruthless. And they are an incredibly good football team.
Right.
But yeah, as Gary says, Walker, an interesting omission. I wouldn't describe it as an omission as such. I think he was only in there because of the injury to Nathan Ake. Ultimately, I would say that Ake's had a better season. He suits this system better. And I don't really need to worry about the counter-attack tonight. In other games where you've got the threat of Vinicius and Rodrigo, having someone who is very quick to be that cover option is brilliant. But for a game like tonight, where they don't really need to worry about the pacing behind, they need physicality, it makes complete sense to play Manuel Akanji. He'll have the measure of Edin Dzeko. He can keep ground with Lautaro Martinez. Ultimately, tonight's going to be about trying to win that first ball and then mopping up the second balls if you don't win the first ball. If you keep losing that first header to Dzeko, he keeps being able to find players like Çalhanoğlu, like Lautaro Martinez. That's when you start to have a problem. So what you've got to do tonight is try and win that first ball, and if not, have players situated in the right areas to win the second ball, and then obviously you can then play your system. And I think City will be good enough at doing that. But there's every chance that, I don't know, it may be in to have, and maybe Edin Dzeko is just too good to be stopped in the air. Maybe he can get the ball to Lautaro. Maybe they can create a chance that way. But that is going to be their only hope tonight, is to play Route 1 football and hope it pays off.
I mean, it will come down to whether it can get the wrong side of their men, because then they'll miss Kyle Walker massively. If you can get your wing backs in behind the centre halves, they won't be able to recover. I think Lautaro again.
I don't think you can just play it in behind your wing backs, because ultimately they're not going to be sat as wingers. Yes, they might be able to get forward at times, but City's main distribution tonight is going to be over the top to Edin Dzeko, trying to find that target man. He's going to be trying to knock it down to Lautaro, trying to win that first ball, trying to control it himself if he can. They're not going to be able to play that instantly in behind to wing back, and they've got Grealish and Bernardo Silva who will cover back and defend those wing backs. Right. That's how the system works. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's going to be very difficult for Inter. They're going to have to hope they get a lucky break at some point, which they might. They might be able to pull that off. That ball long to Dzeko may well pay off.
Yeah. I think they have chances. They will create chances, and they've just got to take them. If they get chances,
I don't know if that's not a guarantee, though, is it? It's not a guarantee that you do create chances.
They'll get chances. And it's just down to whether they
Real Madrid didn't.
Real
Madrid didn't get many chances.
They'll get
I
chances.
do think that by the way, Inter pose a bigger challenge than Real Madrid did to Man City. Because the way Real play is possession football, and you can't play possession against City. Whereas because Inter play out of possession, they may be able to exploit Man City that way. But I still think while they pose a bigger threat than Real Madrid, I don't think they pose any serious threat.
I mean, neither side will want the ball tonight.
City will. City want the ball. That's how they play football. City want the ball every opportunity. The more City have the ball, the more comfortable they are. They know how good they are in possession at breaking teams down. It's exactly what they want tonight. And Inter will want as little of it as possible. Of course, they can get more of the ball, that's fine. But they know that if they've got possession in their own third, that is a problem for them because of City's press. City's press is so ruthless. And every time Inter pick up the ball, it's going to be returning it to Onana and smashing it long, or it's going to be a goal kick. They're not playing that short, that's going straight long. So, yeah, I don't think Inter will be keen on having the ball. City, though, will be very keen on having possession.
No. Yeah.
Anything else to touch on? Of course, we have still got a while. People to chat if you want. If there's anything you think we should discuss or any of your thoughts ahead of the game, then please do leave them. We have got a couple. Gabe Iceman saying not allowing Gundogan to score 13 seconds in would be a good start.
I'll say, yeah. That if City got the kick-off, just win the long ball. They do not concede early. Because then they might as well pack up and go home.
They will win that. They would win that long ball. They like Acerbi does not head it to Gundogan.
I'll say Inter's game is in the air tonight. Because they will win the game in the air. If they're going to win today, it'll be in the air.
Yeah.
Because everything about their side says, I want the ball in the air.
Yeah, my boldest prediction ahead of this will be that Haaland doesn't score. And I don't think Haaland will be involved much. I think if Haaland's greatest involvement today could be his movement to create space for other players.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they're going to have someone on Haaland at all times. If he scores, that's a fundamental issue in the system for Inter, because ultimately their main objective tonight has to be to not concede, and the way to do that is to stop Erling Haaland. And while City have other threats, you've just got to try and nullify.
Even if they concede one, I still think they can't. They can't change the mentality. Don't change the game plan. You keep going and see if you can get back level. Yeah, they're not. Even if they go 1-0 down, they're still not out of this game.
I just think though, if City get one, they'll push for more. They won't look to be complacent tonight. They want to be ruthless. They want to get this Champions League, this elusive Champions League victory. If they get one, they'll go for more. They'll see the blood and they will pounce. That's Man City's
In that
style,
case, Inter will have to react to that and defend. And they'll have to defend for their lives. And just stop it getting to 2-0. I think they're stoppable. They can stop Manchester City tonight.
They can. I just don't think they will.
Alright. I think it's going to be a good game. It will be.
We've got some very early predictions, guys. We will come back to those a little closer to kick-off. We have still got a while until the game gets underway in 22 minutes. And yeah, very exciting times. Champions League finals are always a great occasion, always a great game. Hopefully we're in for another classic, but
I'll say we've seen two brilliant other European finals, one going to penalties and one being won in the 91st minute. So hopefully more drama like that would be lovely.
Yeah, I hope we get some drama. I just don't think it's going to be as close. The difference for those finals was that Roma Sevilla, very evenly matched sides. Fiorentina West Ham, incredibly evenly matched. Like they are the closest thing to the big six in both the leagues. Obviously not this season for West Ham, but in recent years they have been. They still possess that quality. So those two very close. Tonight though, you've got Manchester City, the most dominant team in English football, one of the strongest sides in the world, well, the strongest side in the world right now. They've just got everything. There's no weakness there, is there, for Man City? What is their weakness?
I think Dzeko's heading ability. I think in the air, Inter will win this game in the air. If they try and play fancy foot on the floor, they'll get hammered. If they keep the ball in the air, they'll win their headers and play well.
The problem is Edin Dzeko's ability to win headers on the halfway line won't win a final, unfortunately. And I don't know how they get that ball forward. City's only weakness is the counter-attack. And that's going to be if they get a Dzeko header that Lautaro can run onto, maybe.
You've got target man or over the top.
They can't just distribute right over the top of City. In the fact that it won't go right over the top. Yeah, if Dzeko flicks on Martinez,
Dzeko heads it down and then one of the midfielders can play it over the top.
Yeah, but then it's 2-0-1.
No, because Martinez is running on.
But the problem is, Lautaro will be behind Dzeko at all times. So it will be more difficult to play that. I think City will be able to track those runs quite well. Obviously, they could. If Lautaro manages to get in behind, they could. That is one way you can open them up. But
I think that's the one place where they will miss Kyle Walker is if they can get running at City from the long ball.
Yeah, and I think, though, the fact that Pep hasn't played Walker tonight shows he's not fearful of that. Shows he knows his players can deal with that threat.
That's weird, because that's the one threat that interpose.
I don't know if it is.
What's the other threat?
No, I don't think they do pose much of a threat.
Well, they do pose a threat. They're a football team. Every football team poses a threat to every football team.
Yeah.
If Hereford turned up tonight against City, I'm sure the number 5, who's probably about to murder Erling Haaland, would pose a threat. Every football team has their different threats.
Inter's biggest threat is they get a corner.
Well, yeah.
No word of a lie, that's their biggest threat.
But
they've got to
get a set piece.
But you've got to get the ball out your own half. And I just don't know if Inter are going to be capable of that.
No, they will. They'll definitely do that. It's a football game.
No, okay. Yeah, okay, literally they will kick it long once.
Well, no, they will get the ball out their half.
I think they'll struggle to actually get further than that. Have consistent play in Man City's half. Yes, they'll kick it over the halfway line. But to actually break into City's final third, to actually have possession.
One shot's all they want. And all they need. They want more.
I think they'll want more, and they will probably need more than one shot.
Well, that's how you're going to win.
But in theory,
that's how you win Champions League finals, though. You have to tap that. If you get one shot, you have to score it.
Not if you're City, they'll create 50
If you get 2 shots, you have to score 2 shots.
2 goals?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
cannot afford to miss chances.
If Haaland played for Inter tonight, I would back that theory. I just don't think Edin Dzeko is that lethal.
I think he can be though.
Yeah. Haaland won't score tonight. Because the Cherby will be on him.
There you go.
And if he does, then Inter are probably going to lose. If Haaland scores, Inter will lose this 6-0.
No.
Why not?
That's outrageous.
Why?
You've just said the chance of fast will be 6-0.
If Haaland scores.
That does not happen.
Because that shows there's a fundamental problem with the way City are trying to stop Haaland. That's why Inter are trying to stop Haaland tonight. And you say it doesn't happen, but this is the best team in the world right now, playing a side that aren't near their level, and have a lethal striker who has shown he can score 5 goals in important games.
I think if Inter have any pride in themselves, they won't concede 6.
Again, you say that Inter don't let them.
Honestly, you don't. You don't lose 6-0 unless you give in.
But I think they will.
If the whole then that's why they'll lose. Is that if they're
any team that gets to 4-0 is not still pushing.
If they're going to give in a Champions League final, then they might as well not turn up.
But I don't think it's even. There's not a conscious giving in, but you do just start to lose hope as a player when you're 4-0 down.
But if you're, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I get that. If it's Manchester City, Watford, Craig
tell me when your team are like 9-0 down, you don't start to realise the game's gone.
No, I continue playing to make sure we don't concede anymore.
All it takes is one player drop his head. More.
That's what I'm saying. Inter Milan have to beat. They cannot afford that. And I think just because
I don't think it matter if they're 4-0 down at that point. They want to avoid. I think
just because they're in the Champions League final, I don't think a single player will give in. They won't drop their head. They'll keep going. They'll keep pushing, no matter what the scoreline is.
Okay.
Because they'll have, if they have any respect for themselves and pride for themselves, they won't want people looking back and going, Man City won the final 6-7-0 a couple of years ago. Oh, there's a lot of rubbish. They just lost 7-0 in the Champions League final. If they have any an ounce of pride in themselves, no player will let that happen to them in their career.
And while I agree that effort can prevent big losses, ultimately, if this City side executes its game plan to perfection, I don't think there's much Inter can do.
I don't know. I think if Notts County turned up here tonight,
they would get battered.
If they gave their all, they keep it below double digits.
Even Burnley, one of the strongest sides in the Championship this year, lost 6-0.
But again, that was a Carroll Cup.
That's an FA Cup quarter-final match.
Vincent Company was just there for a reunion.
Okay, but Jesus Christ.
No, that's what I'm saying. Burnley will drop their heads because they're playing Manchester City.
Yeah.
This is a Champions League final. This is the biggest game of any player's career on that Inter Milan side. And if they dared to kind of drop their head when they go 3-4-0 down, then they're costing themselves. Because they'll be the biggest one in their career will be them getting back.
I think we're talking in circles now, but we've still got 5 minutes until we'll get into predictions and such. Is there anything else to touch upon? Because I think we've covered a lot of it. We've had 45 minutes. I think we've covered a lot. If anyone in chat has got anything they want to say, we will, of course, read it, get into it, see what you're waffling on. Just to reference the poll and check, I don't think we've mentioned it thus far. 13 votes so far. Thank you all for voting. 31% extra time or penalties. 23% Inter Milan. 46% for Manchester City. I think there's a lot of hopeful fans there. But it says a lot that despite the fact I know that we'll have people voting Inter out of sheer prayer and hope, that City are still top. The realists still dominate our chat. Realistically,
I think penalties extra time is a good prediction. Because if Inter win today, it'll be through one of those two. They won't win. What?
Nothing.
What?
Good prediction, man. City are just so good. You seem to underestimate how good this City team are. Like, genuinely, they are so good.
But I don't think they could have the best 11 players of all time on their football team in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think whoever their opposition, unless it's like, I don't know, some 7th tier side, any respectable European opposition will give them a game.
Okay.
And the same will happen tonight.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not confident. I'm not confident that City won't just walk this. But we'll get into predictions in just a minute. Should we get into predictions now? Because I feel like you've got a 1-0 Inter or something.
If City do walk this, so that falls on Inter Milan.
Brothing.
Because it's chatting to be fine at the end of the day. If you get walked over, then what a waste. In terms of predictions, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. It won't be decided in the 90 minutes. If Inter Milan back themselves, it won't be decided in the 90 minutes. I'd
love it, but I cannot see it.
1-0 Inter Milan next time.
Okay.
What?
Okay, no, everyone's entitled to a prediction.
I think they'll pocket Haaland, keep it tight, hold on for the 90 minutes, fresh legs on at extra time. It'll be a penalty. Lautaro, right. Not Lautaro, Chanoglu takes penalties. Chanoglu penalty.
Lautaro, I think.
Oh, Lautaro penalty then, in extra time. And then they will hold on like their life depends on it. Because this game is their life. They've spent their whole career.
They get shot at the end of their lose.
One game. Their whole career. Not a Cherby.
Necessarily.
He has spent his whole...
Yeah, it's a massive moment for them, but...
So they get an inch of hope. If they go 1-0 up, they will not let it slip.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't know. I just look at the City team. I think they're so good. I think they are just such a good team. And the fact that even the strongest other teams in Europe have been absolutely rolled over by them. Real Madrid lost 5-1 to this City. They're the reigning champions. They lost 5-1 to this City side. And I think their nearest rivals in the league, Arsenal, lost both games. Liverpool still gave them a good go, but Liverpool had an off year. Ultimately, they are probably the second strongest side in Europe, with Real Madrid being as meh as they have been this year. So other than Liverpool, no one really challenges City. No, I don't look at any who's beaten City this year. Newcastle drew with them once. United managed to win a game over them, but the FA Cup the other day should prove that they're not on the same level. They lost 6-3 earlier in the season as well.
I know, but again, that final was close. That's what I'm saying. A final can bring a 6-3 down to a 2-1.
Well, they're very evenly matched sides though, the Manchester clubs. I think tonight will be a lot different. I'm going to go... I'll go 3-0. 3-0 Manchester City. I think that's a modest prediction because I do think City have the capabilities to go a lot more, to be a lot more ruthless, but I think 3-0 represents a fair prediction for a final. I think, as you say, Inter will look to be as defensive as possible, try and keep it as compact, as narrow. Everything about Inzaghi's system is compact. Compact in defence, compact in the counter. Everything is very compact about the system, and if you ask any of the players about the system, all they'll tell you is compact. But I just don't know if they'll be able to hold City for 90 minutes. They may be able to hold them for the first half at a push, but other sides have tried this season to hold Manchester City and they just can't.
Yeah.
They just can't. So, I don't know. So it's a prediction at the end of the day, and I just think the City side are just too good. Too good for Inter to catch up to.
Yeah. I mean, we've touched obviously on the Haaland battle up front. We've touched on the Dzeko battle at his end of the pitch. In between those two, midfield battle's going to be very interesting.
I don't know if it'll be a battle though. I think what?
I think why wouldn't it be a battle?
Because City's going to pass it through. There's not the midfield's not going to be important.
That's
today.
That segment.
The midfield's not going to be important today for two reasons. One, because Inter are not playing in midfield. Inter's play will be goalkeeper, jump the whole side.
They've still got to stop City's midfield.
And they won't.
Okay.
The box midfield just opens up into midfield so easily, is what I'd expect to see. Of course, maybe it'll be different. But the box midfield, in my opinion, will open up Manchester City's defence. Inter's defence. Is there a lot they can do, potentially, if they go man for man, but then they'll leave... So they're always going to leave someone free, and you can't let that be Haaland, so... I don't know, it's going to be difficult for Inter to manage City tonight. Ultimately, it's about not allowing them to get the ball in good areas and forcing them wide, maybe, because City are strong out wide, of course, but it's potentially where they're least likely to score if they're out wide.
Yeah.
If they cross it in, you can probably deal with it. I'm not 100% sure because it's Erling Haaland, isn't it? So Croft, it looks like it's going to miss everyone, might find Haaland's boot. But...
Maybe.
Yeah. Gary says, just to play devil's advocate, Brentford beat City both home and away this season. I would say, though, just to play devil's advocate again, I would say that the second game, of course, City were resting. It was the final game of the season. The season was done. But we'll credit Brentford for a good victory earlier on in the season. I do think that does show the fallibility of Manchester City, but equally, those sort of results came when either they were resting or they hadn't worked out the system yet. The first half of the season, some of their tactics just didn't work. Some of Pep's system just wasn't working for whatever reason. He's made adjustments in the new year. They have been sensational. What are you annoyed by? It's a brilliant performance.
Last year with Dua Lipa, I don't know what I'm watching this year.
What is wrong about the performance?
She's not even singing, she's dancing.
Well, she obviously is singing, but actually, as a performer, do you want this artist to just stand still?
No, but who is she? I don't know who that is.
I
don't recognise her. Her name's not anywhere, is she? That was great.
I think I've got a guess, but I don't want to say.
Compared to Dua Lipa last year, I mean, I know Dua Lipa got an extra hour because we had a delay. Less so. Oh no, it's a DJ now with a drum kit. What is going on? Anyway.
It's very... It's Anita.
Anita?
Brazilian singer.
What's her second name? Was it just Anita?
Yeah, it's like a stage name, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay. I mean, they've got flying sauce on
Adele. It's not Adele Smith, is it?
What is Adele's last name?
I don't know. Should we find out?
Yeah, DJ Geezer with his drums is loving it. I mean, I know, as I said, I know Dua Lipa got an extra hour last year, but I mean, I want her back. This is interesting. The fireworks are nice. I hope they're eco-friendly. You know, brilliant occasion, brilliant atmosphere in Istanbul in the UCL kickoff show. Is that what they're calling
Adele's full name is Adele Laurie Blue Adkins. I'm surprised he just goes by Adele.
Adkins doesn't really sound.
And by the way, Shakira's not her real name.
Oh, really? Shakira.
Well, actually, it's her real name, but it's not her. Obviously, that she's not just Shakira. And Fred's also not just Fred.
Oscar Hulk. It's not just the Hulk. But yeah, brilliant show. Building up to kick-off in, 9 minutes' time now?
Yeah, wish we could see Balotelli's reaction during this performance.
That's a woman. It was a man.
Could be either. We don't want to assume.
Yeah.
Gary Weisman says, wish we could see Balotelli's reaction during this performance. It would be good. If we could just get a Balotelli cam for the whole thing, that would be fun.
If there's a player, is that distracting to hear that in the tunnel?
You won't hear it.
Oh.
You will be fully focused on everything else. You won't allow outside noises and everything else to distract you. They're professionals. They've done this many, many times before, and their entire focus will now be on the game.
City have learned from 2 years ago. When I remember seeing that tunnel picture of Chelsea all stood focused still, all looking ahead, and City were joking about. This year, City don't move their heads. They are all staring forwards. They've learned.
Full focus.
Old John Stones turn around, what's he doing?
Grealish looking side to side.
Well, Inter Milan are messing around with the mascots.
But it's different ways to approach the game, and ultimately they both can work. As we said, when we looked 2 years ago, you could say that City's less focused, potentially, approach was bad, but it's also something to be said that maybe just calming yourself down.
Yeah.
Not allowing those nerves to build up. By remaining completely still and silent, often you can just sort of isolate emotion from the game, which can be good, but it can also be bad because sometimes you can be overcome by emotion.
Yeah.
Actually, to try and be a little bit more light about the whole situation about the game ahead of you and to try and relax yourself before kick-off can be beneficial. They're bringing out the trophy now. I believe that is Halim Alintop, former Turkish international, bringing out the trophy, and Bayer Leverkusen player, I believe.
Brilliant atmosphere. This referee, Sigmund Marciniak, I mean, we've seen him have
hardly the premium referees.
We've seen him have a few howlers in the UCL this season. And we've seen, I mean, basically, not to, being honest, in the Conference League and Europa League finals, we've seen 2 poor refereeing displays. Well, Europa League was a little less.
I was going to say Taylor did well.
Conference League was awful. He had a terrible game at referee.
Yeah, he really struggled to take control.
hasn't had a good games in the UCL this year. I really hope. I mean, that could play into Inter's hands, but it also could be a really good final. But we've had. Unless is he playing the anthem, and that's really cool.
I guess he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's absolutely fine. I also want to say, by the way, very unconventional looking stadium. I'm a big fan of that. The Istanbul, it's not just a soulless bowl, as much as there is a running track, and we hate that, but it does have a bit of character to the stadium with the weird looking roof and stuff like that. So, yeah, big up Istanbul.
That is a long walk to the pitch, and the players will be soaking in the atmosphere. I mean, this is it. This is what we've waited for all season. The next 90 minutes, they have to walk around the McGee's with his piano. Great piano playing.
Do you think the benches being away from the crowd can make a difference today?
Yeah.
Because you can be focused in that situation. You're not in and amongst the fans almost.
I mean, it'd be an interesting one because I remember Chelsea. The Chelsea bench was getting the crowd going. Like when we were holding on the last 10 minutes to win the final.
So, by the way, I want to say some amazing displays. Inter have written their name out on one end. It's City have
got their blue and
got
white
the colours at the other end. But yeah,
it's going to be a really, really good game. It's hopefully I hope it lives up to the spectacle.
Hopefully it does, because we have had Champions League finals in the past that haven't been sensational. Hopefully tonight is different.
Yeah, huge final for both sides tonight. Big game. It's the biggest, as I said earlier, biggest game of careers for some of these players, and it's gonna be. They've got to live up to it. They've got to provide.
Yeah. Nick Knack, welcome to the stream, by the way. Hi everyone. Hi Nick Knack, great to see you, mate. Excellent to see you on this very warm Saturday evening.
Very hot. It's been warm all day.
It has been very warm all day. Hopefully temperatures aren't this. Well, they probably are worse in Turkey, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hopefully, I mean, the atmosphere will add to the temperature there. It's going to be hopefully a brilliant occasion, hopefully a brilliant game, and hopefully a brilliant stream. We're just trying to sort out the internet as before we get into kick-off.
Yeah.
Because obviously, characteristic with our internet, it decides to have a moment just as yeah, literally.
But yeah, no, this is going to be a very competitive game, very hard fought. Inter have got to outfight City, very physical. They've got to be
hopefully
physical.
Inter can offer City a challenge tonight.
I think that could be a problem. We know the physicality of the Italian league. If the referee's going to put up every single barge over and kind of collision, it's going to be a very tough game for Inter.
Yeah, and I don't think he will. I think Marciniak will let the game run tonight, or I hope he will at least.
If anything, he'll let it run too much.
Potentially, yes.
But yeah, no. We are, seconds away from kick-off now.
Indeed. Right. We should now be about to get underway here in Istanbul
Going for the
2023 Champions League final.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it.
Yeah. The biggest occasion for all 22 players, all the coaches, all the managers, all the players on the bench, everyone involved with the club. It's the biggest moment in their lives. A Champions League final, a chance to take home Europe's most prestigious prize. Games don't get much bigger than this.
Will it be reefed in dark blue and black, or will it be reefed in white and light blue?
Who knows? I'm sure we'll
find out in 90 minutes' time, or maybe even more if we need it.
But yeah, it will be. Which side to get started? By the way, sporting a new sponsor just for today's game. Paramount Plus, of course. Releasing Digital Bits after Digital Bits failed to pay them.
Yeah, crypto's not going very well, is it?
And of course, Paramount Plus keen to sponsor for a Champions League final. I'm sure Inter have been paid $8.
All eyes on Marciniak because we are about to get underway.
Yes, it will be Inter to get us started here. And Lautaro Martinez will get us started from the spot, and he gets us underway. It's Inter to get us started in the 2023 Champions League final here in Istanbul. Manchester City versus Inter Milan. And Inter, well, actually, they're looking a little calmer in possession than first thought. Onana's actually happy just to hold on to the ball here. Maybe they've actually already ticked down to 16 seconds, so they've lasted longer than Manchester United already, trying to go along with the distribution. Almost too long from Onana there as the ball goes out of play.
Number one rule today is keep it on the pitch.
Not necessarily.
Well, depends.
Keep it off the pitch as much as possible.
They keep booting it off the pitch and not having the ball, which they don't want.
I was going to say, that's not necessarily a problem for Inter Milan tonight.
Kicking off the pitch one back brilliantly.
Brozovic does well. Now Barrea.
Good turn.
Needs Dumfries bursting into that space, and here comes Denzel Dumfries. Can he find someone down the line?
Hit him early.
Here's Edin Dzeko, options in the centre.
You want that round. You want Lautaro run down the middle and Dzeko in the box.
Yeah.
Because Dzeko's just proved why he can't run down the wide.
Again, there needs to be a bit of communication between Dzeko and Lautaro there. You can see how the play's developing. You can see Dumfries is starting to make that run down the right-hand side. You know how it's going to turn out. I don't think that Edin Dzeko is necessarily nervy, but
Edin Dzeko doesn't make that touch.
He's not warm. It's a couple moments into the game. Touch like that, expected in these sorts of matches.
Well, it's a minute 21. Inter only got...
But yeah. Switch to the play now from Manuel Akanji. Here is Nathan Ake. And Ake goes across to Diaz. Diaz, options forward for Manchester City, of course. Diaz. Under pressure. City aren't really pressing. Dzeko stood right next to Ruben Diaz there, but not really putting any pressure on. Edison now picks out De Bruyne. One back well by Inter. Though City then recover the ball. Lautaro tries to bring it down but can't. Bernardo Silva, Akanji, boots it up in the air. Uncharacteristically uncalm, panicky there from Manuel Akanji. You don't want Dzeko running the channels. You certainly don't, Nick Nack. You certainly don't. Not exactly got that burst of pace required to be running the channels, but yeah, can certainly cause some issues tonight, Edin Dzeko, but they're not going to be through running the channels. Here is Kevin De Bruyne looking to make something happen. Erling Haaland in behind, and that is a poor effort from Haaland, it has to be said, but he did get himself into a very good position there. I believe he was onside as well. It would have counted had he found the back of the net, but alas, could not finish his dinner. And yet there's a big chance early on here that goes begging for City. I'm sure they will have more throughout this game, but Hon was actually offside, to be fair. That's how he caught out of Cherby, and I think that's why his shot was not one that left a lot to be desired. Sorry, one that did leave a lot to be desired. Here is Bastoni. Again, Inter looking to build out from the back. Brozovic. This is weird from Inter. I wouldn't expect them to look to play possession tonight. I would have expected Onana's distribution, and now they do go to Dumfries. Well, they will get ruined if they try and do that.
Pep work out what they're doing in that couple seconds.
Diaz. Ablandao, I believe it's Nicolo Barrea down after challenging for a header. And of course, due to concussion rules, they will pause the game so he can receive treatment. He does now get up before any treatment is required. What a coinky dink.
What happened? Did you get...
Got caught there potentially by the boot of Ilkay Gundogan.
I didn't see his arm swing round.
Of Ilkay Gundogan. Not a lot of contact, but enough that he feels he had to go down there.
Yeah. 4 minutes, not in are we happy?
Here is Ake. Now Diaz. Akanji now. Finds Bernardo Silva. Strong challenge from DeMarco, and that is a free kick, but that felt soft. That felt a bit of a soft one. He didn't go in too hard there, DeMarco, but definitely left one on.
For me, it's not like he then took the ball rattled out of play, so just something they're going to enjoy the ball. But Inter are in no rush to press them.
No, that doesn't surprise me. Brozovic fighting with him, but Rodri comes away unscathed. Grealish, Gundogan bursting through the middle. John Stones takes a touch, probably goes the wrong way. Rodri back out wide. Bernardo, this is where City can hurt Inter.
Cannot allow the ball in.
Having possession on the edge of the box like this. Bernardo's driven inside, and that was not far away.
You cannot let A, Bernardo cut in, or B, let him put the ball in. You've got to show him out wide and take him to the byline. DiMarco has to show him outside. He tries to, but just gets cut the other way, and that almost dips into the goal. Not quite, though, for Manchester City. Not quite happening just yet. Almost. That is very close. Well, actually, it's violent, isn't it?
No.
But I mean, two close chances already in 5 minutes.
Onana. Now he's distributing a little further. DiMarco tries to find Lautaro in the channel.
Oh, poor touch.
It's actually Calhanoglu, and the touch is not good enough at all. They've got to be crisp. They've got to be more crisp tonight, Inter Milan. They're conceding possession too easy. I know, obviously, they don't want the ball much tonight. They're happy to play out of possession, but
that's too easy. A big
some of the touch has been poor. That was soft. Acerbi put in a strong challenge on Haaland, giving us a foul by the referee. Acerbi trying to reason with the ref. Here is Kevin De Bruyne. City just look great in possession, don't they? Jack Grealish. Here's Ake. Now De Bruyne turns it around the corner to
Grealish as well.
To Grealish, but his touch is really poor, and that allowed Brozovic to steal the ball back.
Let me guess, Onana's going to go long this one? Oh no,
he's absolutely sent De Bruyne there.
He's got to be careful here. I don't know what he's dawdling about.
And now Dumfries tries to chest it towards a forward, none emerging as an option. Frantic first 6 minutes, it has to be said. Neither side's really been able to get a stranglehold on the game. City do look the better side, but there's no surprise there. They've had the better chance so far. Arguably could be 1-0 up on another night, but yeah, so far Inter have done their job well enough. You do just get the feeling, though, if the game continues in this manner, that it's not going to be long until City find the breakthrough. Diaz. Now Gundogan. One back well by Brozovic. Darmian. Bastoni. And he finds Barrea. Can Nicolo Barrea make something happen? Calhanoglu. Barrea. Ball in behind. It's overhit, though. And that'll run straight through to Edison. They just don't have many options, do they, Inter? Even when they win the ball back here, where do they go? Because they try and play out, but there's not an option. There's no pass. There's no one in space. Everyone's man for man, but yeah. Clay, welcome to the stream. Manchester City will win. That's probably the least ambitious prediction so far, but yeah, I'm definitely in agreement. City are a much better side, and so far they've played the much better stuff. So I don't know, unless Inter can change something drastic, I just think they'll have the measure tonight. Bernardo Silva tries to find Haaland with the ball in behind. DiMarco then, he tries to flick the ball onto Lautaro, but ends up falling over himself. Not ideal.
No. But 8 minutes, still haven't conceded. They're doing alright.
Here's Ake.
City just playing it around beautifully.
De Bruyne. Now Diaz. And Akanji.
To City, this seems just like a regular game.
Yeah, they'll want to go about their game plan the same way they always do. And if they execute their usual game plan, they'll be fine. Pull back there, DiMarco, yeah.
I did wonder why they just didn't run onto it. But and now what they're going to do, they get everyone up and launch into the box. I
don't know, do they go that aggressive this early? They'll definitely throw Cherby in that, but yeah.
They'll put it in the box and
hope Cherby and Dzeko have gone short with it.
I thought they'd pump it, take any opportunity.
Brozovic. No, I don't, because a set piece just opens up to the counter too much. If they start throwing bodies forward, it just means they've got no one back, and ultimately it's only a small chance of goal from a set piece of that sort of range.
You better catch it and put somebody in.
But it's not. It was the halfway line. It's not even really into City's half. Lovely technical play there from Barrea. Here is Calhanoglu, finds DiMarco out wide. Can he get the ball into the box? He can, and it's headed away by Diaz. Falls again. Getting to DeMarco, one back though by Gundogan, and this is where they have problems. But that's good. That just a touch in there for Inter actually just breaks up the counter attack.
But 10 minutes gone, they're into double digits in terms of the minute counter, and they still haven't conceded.
Yeah. But since too many TikToks about this game, football's last hope. What is the Inter Milan winning tonight? Yeah. Ultimately, though, we talk about City as being an oil club and all that, but who aren't now? The clubs dominating the market this season are gonna be Manchester City. Well, sorry, not even Man City, just the Saudi clubs, Newcastle, and everyone in the Saudi Pro League. Yeah, Qatari, but similar sort of.
Middle East. Oh,
Ederson was some really shocking distribution.
I thought someone was injured. Pep's clapping him. That's what they want.
He's trying to encourage, really, isn't he? Inter seem to only be pressing inside their own half. Well, yeah, that's because Inter won't want City to bring the ball forwards. But having City having the ball in their own third, that doesn't.
City underscore from there. Like they do, then a night on a howler or it's a bloody good shot.
It's ridiculous.
Dumfries going for the long throw. Again, everything's going in the air, in the box.
Falls to Darmian.
He saw his name.
Well, he's put it in a dangerous position here, and Lautaro managed to win it.
To be fair,
off of Ederson, but
I think he.
Oh, Lautaro fighting with Stones. He keeps it on. Is he fouled?
Goal kick.
Oh, I thought he'd give him a pen. So how on earth has he come to that decision?
I don't know what to do here, so I'll point to the spot and see what everyone else does. Lautaro, though, brilliant though. That's what you want to see from your play. I mean, that's a foul. Soft, but a foul. Really smart, brilliant.
Don't know really what Ederson's trying to do.
If he could just kept it in his grasp,
I don't know if he doesn't know whether Lautaro's there. But...
Also, you feel like someone like Dzeko's got to back Lautaro there to win that. It's another silly foul, and Chanel does well. Just slow.
Again, though, you want it the other way around. You want Dzeko trying to win that header, so Lautaro, the pacey one, the quick one, the agile one, can react. But yeah, here is Nathan Ake, De Bruyne, and that is a beautiful ball over the top, looking for Haaland, cut out well by Cherby. Grealish gets a touches it to De Bruyne. Now here's Nathan Ake. Finds John Stones in a bit of space, under a lot of pressure though in the end, John Stones, and he gets caught. It's pulled back for a free kick.
In fact, give him 5 fouls away, 6 fouls, and none have been booked yet.
But what they do there is, by having both the Inter players around him, is the ref's not really going to make a note of either of them. Because both Çalhanoğlu and Martinez
he probably didn't see what happened.
A foul.
He probably just saw the 2 players going for it and De Bruyne fall to the floor.
Yeah. But if you see one of them with them, then you go, he's committed a foul, note that down, make a mental note of that for later. But both of them are surrounding him.
Look at Dumfries, there's not a foul there. But if he's running into Grealish, he's going to frustrate him. And we know if Jack Grealish gets angry, he's not in his game.
Bernardo. It's flicked on by Gundogan, but Haaland's not going to get
Again, in the air, Inter are going to win this game.
Martinez looking for DeMarco in behind. Inter, again, only 3 men forward, so they've got to make something happen with not a lot.
Bit deep, but they won't mind that.
Barrea into the head of Ake, and that's their first corner of the game.
Do you know what? I know it might be a bit early to say this. First 13 minutes, I've been impressed by Inter Milan. They're up for this. It's just whether they can. They can put this up. They can. What am I trying to say?
Keep this up.
Yeah, for 90 minutes.
Precious Monday, welcome to the stream, mate. Great to see you on this fine evening.
And thanks for putting the love hearts in as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just in my screen spammed with love hearts, so thank you, whoever is.
Keep them rolling,
Spreading the love, and if everyone wants to get involved, please do.
But this is where we said this could be the biggest threat. Çalhanoğlu, Inter Milan corner. They can't afford a counter-attack, but would they love a goal?
Wow. I'd be praying.
Would it be, not saying, but would it be Inter's, not like worst nightmare, but would it be a bad thing for them to score so early?
No. If they get a goal in this final, then they can just set up exactly how they want to play.
Southgate. They try and
Barrea,
and it didn't
flicked away by Haaland.
And now they've got to get back because they're going to counter. They get to Onana, who's going to probably go long.
Nick Knack sort of echoing a similar sentiment to you, saying you have to get stuck in against City though, make it as uncomfortable as you can for them to play. Exactly.
They can't play pretty football if they're all on the floor.
They probably could.
If you play all that like.
They are not allowed to. They've got to always have their arse attached to the floor.
One hand on the ground.
Oh yeah, Haaland will find that easy, mate. Just score an overhead kick.
He does it anyway.
Yeah.
But you need someone on that knockdown. That's good. That one.
Lautaro, they've won the ball high at the pitch. This is a chance. don't know what he's trying to do
He's trying
there.
to run a free kick, isn't he?
Silly from Lautaro, that. He just sort of panicked.
Marciniak is letting the game run, and I like that. So why does he think he's going to get away with a soft contact like that? I do not know. Long ball. Is that Dzeko covering back at right wing back because Dumfries hasn't got in? That's brilliant. Really and he's on a throw. Brilliant. Smart.
City are champions. City are champions. We've had the other Premier League champions. They've also won an FA Cup, a double for City this season. Can they make a treble? Well, they've still got 75 minutes to try and find something, try and find a goal here, and obviously prevent Inter from doing something.
Yeah,
clean challenge, by the way, from Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, Lautaro kind of uses Diaz's leg to pivot and fall over.
Yeah.
First 15 minutes, I don't know about you, but I'd say this has been closer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I know I was the one.
Mate, you're championing this game like Inter Milan were going to offer the greatest challenge.
I thought that Inter actually had quite a few chances. They had a corner in the first 15 minutes. I thought that they'd spent the whole game in their half.
This is how I thought it would play out, in all honesty. It's going to be a close game for a while.
Into the game.
I would be surprised if it's still 0-0 come half time.
Alright. Because Inter are going to score.
Maybe, who knows? It's a Champions League final after all.
Again, why are they throwing it to Martinez?
Barella.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Martinez, and he can't quite.
Brilliant from Barella. Martinez wasn't the same way.
Inter picking up a good fight so far. You're 100% right, Nick Knack. It's just whether they can maintain this, whether it's sustainable, and whether they can actually go on and get a goal in this game, or whether it is just going to be a limiting factor that City are as strong as they are. Here is Nathan Ake.
Yeah, in games like this, your teammates are your best chance. You've got to help each other. You've got to fight for each other.
Brozovic.
Encourage each other.
In the corner, can they get out of it? Comes off Brozovic and is out for a City throw.
I think Brozovic brings his pros and cons. So far we've seen both.
Yeah, I think he's a good player, Marcelo Brozovic. And obviously he brings a bit of tenacity into the midfield. He's a good tackler. He's quite energetic as well. But I do think you lose a bit of creativity without Henrik Mkhitaryan in this side.
I feel like I think Inzaghi's probably brought him in as a bit more of an anchor point. As the captain, as the kind of defensive midfielder, he is that he is that anchor.
As I say, Çalhanoğlu's done a really good job in that role, and that's a silly tackle for Brozovic.
Oh no, I think that's soft.
But he goes in aggressively. I think that big concern is that Çalhanoğlu gets caught at the same time.
Even if he's a clean tackle, he makes it look like he's murdered him.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He doesn't get any of the ball. Then he kicks out at him. Çalhanoğlu does get caught, but it's after there's already been a foul, and now, Varela kicking off.
Diaz, doing there.
Eager to get the ball back.
Yeah, so.
Going.
So you don't want to stand around and watch Inter complain. They want to get on with it.
Akanji. Because they know that every opportunity tonight, Inter will look to just waste a bit of time. And now Haaland heads onto Grealish. This is a chance we can get the ball into the box. Well, because they've forced him wide. That's very good. And somehow Acerbi has still kept this ball. And he's put out for a throw.
You won't mind that.
Very good defending. Very good defending from Acerbi. You could question why he leaves Haaland alone in the box. Is to put that pressure on Jack Grealish. To stop him getting the ball in there anyway.
Bring it again for Darmian.
No, I think he concedes a corner. Does indeed.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, I don't know. I think they're good. Their dominance is in the air.
Let's go actually. Honest throw.
There's another throw.
Yeah, fair enough.
De Bruyne, Grealish.
It's a brilliant touch. Dumfries
trying to take it round. Dumfries goes down. Barella then kicks it away.
I feel like Martinez.
Okay, losers out. Here's Çalhanoğlu gets caught. Martinez running through.
He's got Dzeko for support.
How's Edin Dzeko? But it's.
Again, it wants to be the other way around. I don't know how these two get the wrong way around all the time.
Every single opportunity, yeah. But equally, as much as you say, he wants to be passing it to Lautaro there, if it's Dzeko running forward to the ball, he doesn't drive with the pace.
Lautaro passed it too early. DeMarco's brilliant. Excellent. And now they've got to go, though.
Federico DeMarco.
It's a 4-on-4. They've got to use this.
Yeah,
why is he slowing down?
Because he needs to pick out an option. Brozovic, Lautaro. Why did he hit it? He should have gone to Barella.
What a waste.
As Lautaro is now pointing out.
What a waste, Brozovic.
And is that not where you want Henrik Mkhitaryan?
Because either or, Mkhitaryan's a better shot than what I've just seen. He panics.
Gets excited.
What is he doing?
He sees the goal, he sees the ball, his eyes light up. It's a Champions League final. Can't hardly blame him, but it has cost his side a big opportunity there.
Barrea was in.
Yeah, Barrea had a clear shot goal.
And we know he's a very good finisher. When City lapsed in concentration with a poor pass and DeMarco pounced on it, you cannot afford to waste it by shooting, or you'll see DM shooting from 25 yards out. It's not pot shot territory, it's let's counter and hit them hard.
Here is Diaz. Gundogan back to Ruben Diaz. And now Nathan Ake. Can Ake pick out a pass? Finds Rodri. Back to Ake. Turns out and finds Kevin De Bruyne. Now back to Ake.
You just feel... You could see it. You just feel that...
Ball in behind for Jack Grealish to run onto. But Onana comes out
every time. Any scraps that are going into the box, Onana's going to be on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got to play that sweeper all tonight. But you feel there is a chance maybe Haaland's quick enough to get away from
it. As a forward, if you've got a goalkeeper running at you and a defender running side by side with you, you're going to struggle to stay calm and get a shot away. I mean, obviously Erling Haaland might be alright. I don't
know. Yeah, that's probably applicable at some other levels, but we're at a Champions League final.
True. And
this is a very ruthless City side, a team that have composed finishers.
That's not a foul. Oh, ref. What are you doing? Oh. Don't. See, I don't know what it is. Because they look calm, but I wouldn't say the passing's calm. In terms of it looks the way they're making rash and poor passes look really calm.
Yeah.
They make chaos look calm. It's really weird.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah. It's like I meant to do that. I meant to just head the ball into the ground, De Bruyne have to slide tackle and get there.
Feels like potentially I don't think it's complacency, but maybe just because they've been afforded so much space in the opening 20 minutes that now Inter are starting to come onto them, but they're still playing the same slow passes.
Is that not a foul there?
DeMarco goes down. Referee sees nothing wrong with it. It's going to fall to Jack Grealish. Touch. Tries to pick out Ake. They've still got the possession.
Well. Definitely not handball there.
Now
DeMarco's still down. Barrea is going to see this and...
you see he wanted to win a throw, and he has. That is so smart from Nicola Barrea.
Then DeMarco's to get treatment.
And I don't know what... I think Marciniak had something he didn't like there and spun around, but now he will go and deal with the injured DeMarco. I might take this moment break just to open the windows because it's really warm in here. But yeah.
Happy DeMarco's alright to carry on this final. He's had a good start to his final. He won the ball back well. That's a foul. Yeah, he stands on him. And realistically, if City had scored from that, they'd probably pulled that back for a free kick. Yeah, that's a nasty one. Studs into the ankle. I mean, this one's going to hurt. That is definitely not a handball from Brozovic. His arm is literally here and it hits his arm there.
Yeah.
No difference there. And DeMarco just having a word with Bernardo Silva over what happened. And we'll now continue with the front. Inzaghi's, wasn't on the pitch.
I bet he wishes he's out there tonight. Just to add a different dynamic to Inter Milan's attack.
Stick him in the midfield. I don't know.
I was just so give me one of the best number 9s of his generation.
No, I more meant now, just to.
Yeah. His passion.
Yeah, get him around Barrea and Brozovic. Blimey, those passionate midfield you're gonna see.
Dumfries, Darmian. Here is Onana.
Onana's very confident takes time on the ball. Because for me, I don't know why I'm scared for him.
Don't mind that though. You wouldn't want a goalkeeper that's panicking every time Haaland comes before him. There's more chance he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And while that he may be overconfident at times, a lot of the time he seems to have a measured confidence.
Yeah. It does feel like they've got a mixture of two game plans. One is to press, and one is to go long, and one is to play out.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the scenario of where the players are and what's happening on the pitch.
They are good enough players, obviously, to play possession football. You're not going to get many chances to do that against City, and it may not be fruitful. But if you can mix it up regularly enough with that Route 1 type stuff, then it may be more difficult for City to contain the standard possession football.
I generally think there's been over 10 fouls from Inter in this first 24 minutes. Not a single card yet. Yeah. It's really smart.
Even better, just by that shot, though, says Gary. Though I presume that's the
I did see that.
He was a challenge in this final. And
come on, he's like test my goalkeeper.
Ruben Diaz. Stones. Bernardo. And now Kanji. It's been a fascinating game so far, though, to see how Inter have dealt with City, because, well, it's probably the hardest task in world football to deal with Man City.
Over halfway through this first half, they've done a decent job.
Gundogan.
I say
Haaland, that is ridiculous. And then De Bruyne,
his first touch and his flips over his head.
He must have to do so much stretching before a game because
imagine just being in a yoga
acrobatic. By the way, this is ridiculous.
Oh, he should have played it sooner.
One height of the pitch there, Inter, and that's a hospital.
I thought Martinez could have got there. Really?
No, he couldn't.
I saw again goal and panic.
They win the height of the pitch there, Inter. Brea takes a pot shot. I think it may have took a deflection. That's why Kanji's chasing after it.
I think it's just awful.
I don't think it was. I think it just took a gamble. Like he gets half a chance. And
I don't blame him because you see, you keep outside his 6-yard box, you're gonna shoot.
Yeah, he has a split second though to take his shot.
Because either it goes in, it's parried down, or it goes out for a corner.
Or it just goes out for a kick.
Brozovic, brilliant defended.
Good challenge, just to hold the counter.
Got to get back in.
De Bruyne, Bernardo.
First, Bastoni did well to drop back in there.
Bernardo. Forced backwards here by the Inter lines, and they're struggling to break them down at times here, Manchester City, but I mean, they'll find a way through. They have a couple times, nothing fruitful thus far, but you get the sense that as this game goes on, they'll start to break them down with a bit more regularity.
Yeah.
Create something a bit more clear cut. Here is Akanji. Forced all the way back into almost their own third for Manchester City. But they've all now come out of their shell. De Bruyne through to Erling Haaland. Touch, shoots. It's a great save. And Bastoni does really well to stop that going out from a corner. Still alive here. Here's Jack Grealish. Can he make something happen for Manchester City? Finds Rodri on the edge. That's a brilliant bit of movement there to get it back up wide to Jack Grealish. Ball into the box. Headed away by Dumfries. They live to fight another day. Well, they don't, because here comes City and they've got to keep it tight here. Compact. Ball over the De Bruyne.
But that's what I said, where Inter can rely on Onana when they have those couple shots that will leak through, and Bastoni did well to shove him out wide without fouling him, and it closed off the angle on the lean. Onana big hand, and then Bastoni does really well. So going for a goal. Look on the lean, Erling Haaland, but
it's
great
still
hand.
Such a powerful shot. You do just fear if that's his strong foot.
Yeah.
If he's not literally falling over.
Even Onana took the sting out of it as well, because he didn't rebound straight back. He rebounded to Bastoni, who then eventually managed to stop it going from a corner.
A brilliant goalkeeper, Andre Onana. I think he's got a big move ahead of him this summer.
Yeah, I mean, he could put his name right out there and put his price tag up about 20-30 million.
Because if they're going to win the Champions League tonight, Inter Milan, he will be pivotal. That's a non-negotiable, really. Barea.
Poor touch.
Yeah, it struck at him with quite some pace by Edin Dzeko, but he does really screw up with the touch. De Bruyne cuts inside, takes aim. Yeah, nice. They're starting to get shots away now, City, and you just feel one of these is going to go in. Like if De Bruyne just aims that a bit differently, if that doesn't take a deflection off Çalhanoğlu, it's a tougher save for Onana.
Red for Onana though. But Inter just need a minute or two.
He takes a sting off the ball there, Çalhanoğlu, really.
Inter just need a minute or two to get the ball down. They're doing exactly not that. And here's Gundogan.
Grealish. And he puts it to the Watchalong keeper.
Onana's got to slow it down.
It's got to go long. Well, they're going to play out quick. Barea.
They've just got to get out. Give their
the problem is, once you say they've got to slow it down, they've also got to play counter attacking. They've got that's their chances
that is
tonight.
A foul smart from Dzeko.
When City overcommit, they've just got to go one instantly. Really,
this is what they want. But De Bruyne's down the way, and obviously he came off 2 years ago in the Champions League final, didn't he, of an injury?
Just found we want Onana. I find that strange. I think he'd be a good goalkeeper. My priority would be Mike Maignan because I think he's a really good shot stopper. But Onana is a very good goalkeeper. And his distribution is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which could be massive.
That's why he works in his Inter team.
Yeah. Very comfortable with the ball at his feet.
De Bruyne is still down by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be a concern.
It will, because he's a magical player. But ultimately,
this doesn't look good.
They do have replacements.
I know, but just for De Bruyne, took off from the Champions League final 2 years ago due to an injury.
And Phil Foden out to warm up.
This is a big concern for him. If he has to come off again, you can just see his body language, and he's just looks like he knows he can't continue.
But he so desperately wants to. So how did he actually pick up this injury?
That was the Ake.
So that was Ake fouling Sheko. We're not going to find out. But yeah, Phil Foden warming up now.
Back to his feet is Kevin De Bruyne. He just doesn't.
It's a good sign that he can obviously walk.
He doesn't look like a man that's about to come back on the football pitch. Better getting instructions in.
Is it groin? Hard to tell what's wrong.
I think it's his knee.
Oh yeah, I also didn't see it. It seems like he will continue, at least for now, Kevin De Bruyne.
That's good to see. Inter fans absolutely loving it, creating a party atmosphere. And half an hour gone here, it's still 0-0. Strong first 30 minutes for Inter Milan.
Yeah.
De Bruyne will come back on. Well, see, with his Inter free kick, they're going to play it short again.
Brozovic.
Not wanting to load it into the box just
back
yet.
to Brozovic. Now Barrea. And it's Brozovic once more. Cross to Bastoni. Matteo Darmian. And Acerbi. Bastoni. Brozovic knocks it back to his goalkeeper, and Inter can just take a moment in possession now. But they're not under pressure. Here's Acerbi. Darmian. Surely this just goes long. What other option is there for Inter? No, short again from Onana to Darmian. Now he tries a punt long. Brozovic, that is such a poor pass. Cut out by City. De Bruyne tries to go to Grealish. Grealish was in an offside position.
Inter are going to take that though, because we'll go out and play, they'll get a goal kick, and they can waste another minute. So if they get to half time at 0-0, that is a monumental success. They may not monumental, that makes it sound ridiculous. That's a big part in them getting something for this final.
Brozovic's passing is all over the shop, and that invites a horrible challenge from
Chalanoglu. Came off worse as well. Dwight wins it back. He just ran out though, so Inter can play on with it.
Brozovic.
He's cost him there twice.
His passing's been really poor. His passing's been really poor.
Still up the way.
He's looked like he's going to come on in this game.
Poor Chalanoglu. I mean, how hasn't been booked? I don't know, because that is not a great tackle.
He goes in between him though, doesn't? Haaland's not too scathed.
And then Haaland lands on top of him, and that hurt.
Brozovic's passing's been really, really shocking though. I would expect that.
If you're 0-0 at the 60th minute, do you bring on Mkhitaryan? Because you feel you can go for it more, because it is still 0-0.
Maybe. I mean,
that's definitely, if you're 1-0 down, that is 100% the sub you make in the 55th minute.
Yeah, it's all circumstantial, isn't it?
Who knows how it's
You don't want to make subs too early because you know this could be a very long game.
You don't want half-time.
Inter's game plan could involve taking this to extra time.
Oh, yeah.
So ultimately, if they make their subs too early, then that sort of ruins that.
And if they get to penalties, they know a fantastic
Injuries could be a problem, as we've already seen City have one of their most important players, Kevin De Bruyne, struggling at the moment. Potentially having to come off. Diaz there just,
That's in concentration.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit complacent. I don't think it.
Kind of getting stuck in the lull.
Ultimately, he still maintained possession. So it's not a massive error. Just caught a little bit with the ball in his feet. But yeah, as I was saying, dealt with that fine. Maybe.
Just looking for anything.
Stones, Gundogan, Rodri, Stones, beautiful football. Stones turns his man. Now he finds a Akanji. Touch, and it's out wide. Bernardo Silva. Happy to try with the ball at his feet. Slots it down the line. Stones. Silva.
Got a shot outside again, but lets him inside.
De Bruyne. Stones. Back with Akanji again. See, just being forced back here, which is a phenomenon we're not really used to when watching Manchester City. Gundogan. De Bruyne, this is a chance though. Again, a poor delivery.
He's struggling. He's coming off.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Down there. He's struggling, Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, he's coming off.
Thinking how he may be signalling that actually he would like his participation in this match to be over.
Well, he's going to hate
And,
you.
well, Guardiola is bringing
I think he has no choice.
Foden towards him.
No, he's saying no.
Well, is that not sub?
I don't know. Foden's coming on.
I hope it's sub if I'm very annoyed.
2 Champions League finals in the last 3 years, and he's been subbed off in both.
Yep, here comes De Bruyne off the pitch. 35 minutes. Unfortunately for him, I've ended early by injury. But here comes Phil Foden, a chance for him to make an impact in this final.
I think you see he's gutted.
We know the clear talent, though, that Phil Foden possesses. So for City, this isn't too huge a downgrade. I think while De Bruyne possesses a creative spark and an ability to unlock defences that is otherworldly at times, Foden is not a bad replacement.
He's not. I just feel De Bruyne is a bigger game changer.
He is, but then if you look at some of Phil Foden's best performances over the last few years, or any performance from Phil Foden, it's always very good.
De Bruyne, he's not. He's fuming.
Yeah, I think he's sad more than angry.
Yeah. Okay, so again, that's twice now.
Biggest game of his
career. Keeps getting injured. Keeps getting these knocks in the final. That's what players are going to do to him, though, because he's such a good player. They're going to knock into him.
Maybe a bit of anger then if he has been caught in a challenge. Again, I haven't seen what the specific challenges that he did get caught in. If it was just groin, that's probably a result of fatigue, and it's been a long season, so it makes sense. We played. The fact that we haven't seen more injuries, because we have had a ridiculously big schedule this year, I think is a testament to the steel, both mental and physical, of players, because they've not allowed this really long season to have a lasting effect on them, to take its toll.
Brilliant. Oh, I thought he'd won it back there. That's brilliant. It's the way City look like they're in so much trouble. Again, it's 3 times there. I thought they lost the ball and they've still got it.
But what City are doing by the sort of almost giving the ball away, but not, is that they are encouraging Inter to sort of throw men forwards. This is going to be a weird analogy, so stick with me. But the Battle of Hastings, what William the Conqueror did was he feigned fake retreats to encourage the less experienced soldiers to go running after it. So that's what they're doing here, City. They've been I don't know if it's just pure complacency or whether it's deliberate.
Hang on, there's a lot of space here. William the Conqueror will have to wait a minute. Why don't you shoot? That's the one time.
Pereira.
If he's offside, he's actually offside.
Where you going? Backwards. Anyway, back to my point. So by almost making these little errors on the ball, are they encouraging it to throw players forwards so then they can exploit them on the counter?
Yeah. Wasting energy as well, having to run forwards. That is a cracking ball.
And they chase the ball thinking that the game is there to be won.
Inter just biding it. Actually, this is it's a bit of a turntable here. Inter just biding their time while City sit deep and make sure their box is covered.
Yeah. Jerome dictates a lot of the play. He does indeed. And he will be a big miss. But I do think Phil Foden's an adequate replacement. And as Gary says, you've got to feel for him. Both finals, out through injury, halfway through the game.
Back at Onana.
Brozovic.
I feel like Brozovic can lose the ball. I don't know why.
I've not been impressed by Marcelo Brozovic tonight.
Where's he go past to here? He's going to go down the line. Fair enough.
Barrea. I'm also confused as to why the back three is currently a Cherby, Barrea and Brozovic.
They've got to be careful though, because they lose the ball, they're in big trouble. Batty's a...
Onana to Darmian. They're really making the pitch really wide.
Where is the centre-halves? Because you haven't sent them in. They're up front.
Genuinely not a clue.
Stoney's had enough.
No, but Stoney's gone to left back.
They've got to go long.
Stoney's playing left wing back.
Oh, what a waste. It's the problem. They're fanning around and then they've brought the ball to pitch.
Yeah.
And they've given City the ball.
It's because both the wing backs flew forward, so the full backs went out wide and Brozovic
and for some reason they didn't bother getting back
centre
in.
Field.
They all stayed in their positions. There is a...
City throw.
Yeah. Oh. I chose and I heard the referee.
Gary's commenting on my history analogy. Fucking hell, applying the events of 1066 to a 2023 Champions League final. That's something I never thought I would hear.
Well, better than what Rio Ferdinand talks about.
I can't imagine a Rio Ferdinand knows much about the Battle of Hastings. I don't know, maybe majored in history or something.
I don't think he did.
I doubt it.
Did major being boring, maybe. Isn't that his
I can't imagine he did anything in English either, given his description usually, wow, it's really loud.
So loud, guys. I'm loving it. Always Foden.
Something could happen here for City. Don't know what these noises are, by the way, from them. That's concerning. Watchalong getting stuck in. Diaz puts the ball in the air. And now a chubby caught in the challenge there by Foden. This could be a potential card for Phil Foden, because that is not a nice challenge. You just get away with it with just a warning from Shimon Marcinac. Chubby's told to get up. Seems harsh. I thought this was quite an... Okay, maybe not. Ah, he's feigned it.
Oh my God.
I thought he caught him there, Foden in the knee, but... No. Brozovic. Brea. Now Desmond Dumfries. That's Brozovic. Here is Darmian. Now Onana. They just seem a bit casual into. I don't know what it is. The thing is, they've played out the press so well tonight. Yet, it feels like any moment they're going to lose possession. And then Haaland scores.
Yeah. Which probably will happen at some point.
Lautaro's the one robbing possession there. Diaz recovers it well. And here is John Stones.
It's like William the Conqueror said.
Driving it forwards. And to Foden. Thought he might just feed that through to Haaland, but here comes Jack Grealish now on the left-hand side with the ball at his feet. Right inside, Foden. Turns out, finds Rodri. Rodri to Ake. Ake, Gundogan. Can this ball go into the box? Nope, back onto the edge. Here is Rodri. Now Bernardo. Silva. Knocks it back. Kanji. Rodri. Ake. They're just repeating a sort of U shape now, and there's forwards and backwards. City, left, right, just recycling the ball, looking to slowly break down into Milan here. Very reminiscent of Arsenal when they used to get called boring because they didn't shoot ever. But here is Bernardo. Just feels like they're going nowhere. City are putting together a lot of passes, but not actually doing anything in possession. And I don't think Inter will mind that at all. But I think they'll appreciate it.
Yeah. 3 minutes to go to half time. Inter just got a hold on.
Dumfries there, forcing Grealish to the ground, and Grealish is not happy at all.
Wants a free kick. He's going to get one.
Responds in quite a frustrated manner.
He still
Dumfries
gets a free kick,
showing his abs to the ref, maybe trying to convince him.
Look, mate, it's all muscles. No, definitely just grabbing his shirt.
Smart though from Dumfries, but not if this goes in. But again, though, I don't think City offers much threat from these sort of situations.
He could have just muscled him off. Look at the size difference.
But he's frustrating Grealish, and is that not more important?
Yeah.
Because Grealish is fuming. He wants a yellow. He's clearly agitated, visibly agitated.
But if City now score here, what a donut.
I don't know. I don't think they will though. Obviously they could. Here's Phil Foden over this. Grealish is never happy.
I mean, this has got to go. This has to go.
Grealish is happy on trophy parade. But yeah, Foden. Ball over everyone. Rodri brings it under his control. Looks to put it in.
And it's a goal kick. Yes. Superb from Martin.
Really good there from Lautaro. Stops the ball going into the box. It cans off and back at Rodri and out for a goal kick. So very intelligent that from the Argentine.
2 minutes to go of this first 45. It has been a resilient performance for Inter Milan. And
City frustrated. Not just the person on the pitch, but there we pan to the bench and Walker's rubbing his face in frustration. Mahrez, a light chuckle. Frustration, but yeah, City, you can tell they're not pleased with how today's turned out.
But he'll know the job isn't done. It's far from over. Far from over. But to be honest, it hasn't been way nil-nils in finals go. This has not been a bad one. No. I say that. The half's not over yet.
Cherby. Gundogan to Haaland, though, now in to have possession once more. Here's Bastoni. Onana. And he goes long with it, looking for Edin Dzeko. Dzeko, nice flick on. Can't quite find Lautaro Martinez. though it's now given us offside anyway. And Onana's down. Slight worry here. Marcinak's just checking whether he's alright. But it's after Onana distributed it. He's just a little bit of pain. I think he will be alright to continue. Yeah. Here is
2 minutes out of time.
2 additional minutes here in this first half. 2 minutes for potentially City to find a goal, or maybe Inter against the run of play to break the deadlock. But Gundogan. Again, City forced all the way back to Ederson by Inter. Inter's regimented defence and structure has just forced City to not really express themselves in the way they'd want. They want to be a bit more expressive in their play. They've had to remain quite disciplined. Their passing hasn't really resulted in anything, but they have had a lot of the ball. And we'll look over the stats and such at half time. But yeah, here is Rodri, and this could, though, be the chance for City to find a breakthrough as tired legs start to wish the half came sooner. Here is Bernardo Silva. Akanji takes aim, Akanji, and that's wide.
They will not mind that, Andre Onana.
No.
And
he will happily watch as they blast past his goal for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, never troubling him. Watched it all the way, well over the bar in the end. No, well over the goal, nowhere near the goal, really.
Yeah.
Again, as a player, you do have those moments where you just see your name
Same with
flash in the
Brozovic.
headlines. Yeah.
Your eyes light up. It's a rabbit in headlights moment.
Oh, you think, my name is all over the front news of the world.
Rabbit in headlights a bit more morbid. You're a lot more excited. You don't think you get run over, but you do get excited.
He'd have seen Akanji wins Man City Champions League and gone, yes. And bang.
Yeah.
Maybe not all that in his head.
Well, I was just say, that sounds like a very vivid image for him to think of in under a second.
But he's really good at maths, isn't he? He's like,
even count. And there we go.
That's half time.
Half time here in Istanbul is Manchester City 0, Inter Milan 0. Guardiola excels in frustration. City players a little solemn as they make their way off the pitch. I think Inter will be the happier bunch going into the break. It's 0-0. They'd executed their game plan to perfection. City have been unable to really do anything with possession so far. Inter have been breaking up the play consistently. They've looked good in the tackle. They've been able to commit some decent tactical fouls without actually picking up any cards. So a strong showing from Inter Milan so far. They've frustrated City. City haven't really been able to play the way they'd want to play. And overall, I think, as I say, Inter will be very happy with that first half. City, well, they've got to find a way to break Inter down. And I think we'll look at some statistics because, surely the passing stats for City are ridiculous. 62% possession for Manchester City. That's high, but it's not too ridiculous, I wouldn't say. 62% is about what you would expect. But the XG tells you a lot. 0.36 to 0.21 in the favour of City. It's not as dominant. It's not as ruthless as you'd expect. They've not created anything clear-cut. 4-4 shots, so they're both having an equal measure of the attacking chances. 2 on target for City, 1 for Inter. But overall, there's not been too much difference. And actually, if you look at the match momentum graph, well, it's been up and down. City have definitely had more big chances. Look, I don't think anyone's actually created a big chance. Maybe the Haaland one, which you fired at Onana's near post. But no one's created a big chance so far, I wouldn't say. Bar potentially that one. If we go deeper into the stats then, 278 passes at 91% success rate for Man City. Almost otherworldly. That's robotic for Manchester City. But a lot of passes racked up so far. 156 for Inter. They're playing the game. 8 fouls committed as well. It's exactly how they would want the first half to go, and I think they'll be pleased with their showing thus far. They've not such created anything themselves, but they've limited City's play, and that's exactly what they are setting out to do. King Norman, welcome to the stream. Forza Inter. I feel like Inter are the other neutrals club tonight, and I know obviously personally I would prefer an Inter Milan victory, but yeah. Inter executing their game plan very well so far. Just look at the polling chat then, because we don't think I've referenced it since we started. But 23 votes so far, 48% Manchester City. A lot of you guys confident City will come away with the win. But then it's equal between Inter and extra time or penalties. And I think that shows that the belief is if Inter want to get anything out of this game, it won't come in the 90. They're going to have to take this later. Into extra time, into the penalty shootout. 26% into 26% extra time or penalties. We have our second European final of the season heading to beyond the 90, but potentially we're interested to see how this plays out. In terms of what Inter needs to do in the second half to maintain this, well, they've just got to keep regimented. They've got to stay in this structure, in this system for as long as possible. If they start allowing City to have more of the ball in good areas, create more chances, they open themselves up and they expose themselves to the dangers that City pose, that attacking threat, namely Erling Braut Haaland. Of course, if they can keep limiting Haaland the way they have, well, it doesn't really offer much to Manchester City. I know he had that chance which he blasted at the near post, but Erling Haaland so far, just 2 passes. I don't know how, just 9 touches. And it did register a big chance, by the way, the one he fired at Onana, which is intriguing, because I didn't think it was that great a chance. But yeah, that was a big chance missed. 9 touches, though, is not ideal, really. He would have wanted to get more involved in this game, but Inter's game plan working to perfection. They are limiting Haaland as much as possible.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yes, I mean, you all laughed at me during the build-up.
I don't think we ever laughed at you. I just suggested that City are a much stronger opposition, which they definitely are. But as I also mentioned before, that Inter are a very good side. Inter do have an ability today to be able to limit City's chances. It's just whether they would or not. And I wasn't confident they would, but they've done well so far. Again, still a long 45 minutes to go, potentially longer than that. But yeah, I think City are close to a breakthrough, and you've got to imagine Guardiola will have something up his sleeve for the second half.
And you do feel that Inter Milan have been very good, but they've still been wasteful. Brozovic could have created a brilliant chance. He played Barrera, and instead he had a shot, and it was rubbish. And it's been a few chances.
Against their first European final, it's sort of what you expect, isn't
more
it?
awake, but yeah, no. Good from what they were expecting from the first half. They've done really, really well.
Yeah,
to be level with Manchester City after 45 minutes is something not a lot of teams can say this season. 45 minutes to go. If they take extra time, for me, that it completely levels, because that is just survival of the fittest at that point.
I would say otherwise, because City have a stronger bench.
Maybe.
So they can interject.
To be honest,
is that the right word?
Wherever we are in the game, it's going to be favourites for City unless we go to penalties, which could be into saving grace. If they can keep us at 0-0 and take us to spot kicks, at that point it's just
I've never really seen Ederson to deal with a penalty shootout. City don't usually take games that far, but
yeah,
I just think I don't back him.
I'll be interested in his penalty record.
I think Onana would be a better potential. I mean, this is purely speculative, but I can't imagine Ederson's a great, because he's not a stunning shot stopper. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's a great distributor, and he's a fine shot stopper. But overall, I don't think his ability to save shots is that.
Has he got the mind games of a shootout?
Potentially not. Chelsea fans says, let's hope we see a goal in the second half. That would be ideal, of course. And then Matthew says, very good performances. By the end of this evening, Pep never expected them to press as much as they have been. No, I don't think he did. I think that was a surprise, because at the start of the game, Inter did what most people expected. They sat very deep. They didn't really come out their own half, which, as I said in the build-up, is exactly how they would look to play. But as they've progressed, they've got a little more confident. Players have started pushing forward, starting applying the press. And you just feel maybe they could take advantage of City's sloppiness in possession.
Maybe they found the one way to beat Man City, which is to play 3 or 4 different tactical ideas in one half. One minute,
keep changing up. Guardiola's going to get lost.
1 minute it was long ball, the next it was possession, the next it was press.
Yeah. What's left?
As I say, soon we're going to be saying
roll through the catalogue.
Yeah.
But possibly the greatest chance of the half was Bernardo's in like 6 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Where he cut inside and almost buried in the top corner. The other one, Erling Haaland's. Where he takes it past Bastoni, And there's a
Stoney did well to show him out wide.
I'm going to just take a moment, but yeah.
And then, on his weaker foot, Onana does well to stop it. Big save. But yeah, no, they're looking at this press, this City press. Inter out of possession. Sorry, not City, Inter press. Inter out of possession have actually been much better than I thought they'd be. We all thought that they'd sit off and watch Man City play football today, but they haven't. They've pressed them up. Excuse me. They've caused them problems. Ederson has looked suspicious. If it was Hakan or a striker on that Ederson mistake, will be 1-0. Yeah, maybe it would have been. City haven't been perfect, and that's how Inter have capitalised. Man City haven't been at their 100% selves in this first half, and that's where Inter managed to get into this game. Yeah, the way they're. I mean, as you say, Matteo, the way that Inter are finding a way to break the City counter press is just by mixing it up. 1 minute it's long ball. The next minute is possession. As I said, next minute they're pressing. Next minute they're trying to win the ball back. And then they're just sitting off, and then they're pumping it long, and then they're playing out the back. It's they're doing so many different styles. It's kind of working. It is kind of working. Haaland does the stretch for the shot. Yeah, and look how much it caused a problem. It was his weak foot. He was on the lean, and he still managed to get that much power and that much accuracy behind the shot. He is ridiculous, that man. He's absolutely ridiculous at football playing. But yeah, no. Big half incoming in this Champions League final. Still all square. If we don't see a goal in the next 45 minutes, we will be going to extra time, which then gives us an extra half hour. And then after that, we then have to go to spot kicks. So, it'll be intriguing to see how this game plays out now. But yeah, 24 votes in the poll. Quite interesting, actually. 46% City, 29% Inter, 25% extra time or penalties. That's not as City dominated as people would expect. And I know there's a lot of hopeful fans that don't want City to win, but in terms of an even balance, it's not too bad. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, I think Inter have played well. City, they've got to be sharper. They've lost the ball a couple of times. They've been kind of bit lost. They've just been lost a little bit. A few errors, not being that sharp. It is really interesting to see. But yeah, Inter, they've done really well. Not only with the press, but the physicality. And I said this from before kickoff. Inter have got to be physical, press right up to City, give them really good physical battle, and they've done that and more. They've given away. Should we have a look at some stats? How many fouls have they given away? They've committed 8 fouls, which actually doesn't seem that much after. But it's just those little touches are, once the ball's gone, a little kick in the back, or a little barge, a shoulder barge, or pushing the back off the ball, just to frustrate City, cause them a problem. No yellow cards yet for Inter Milan, but they've caused 8 fouls. They've made this game stop-start without taking people out. They've done brilliantly.
Have you picked up a card yet, man?
No, that's what I'm saying. They haven't picked up a card. They've done really well to manage the game. It's been a stop-start. They haven't caused a problem. Nick, you voted for Inter because you thought everyone would vote City. Fair enough. I voted City, even though I said that Inter were going to win, just because I knew that kind of in my brain that City was the stronger side.
In the poll?
I think most of the poll is just hopeful fans, but
maybe there's some Inter fans. If you're an Inter fan, put that in the chat. I mean, everyone's an Inter fan tonight, aren't we? Before I say Inter, but I just tap with the badge should be in it really unsettled me that the badge on my shirt wasn't there. But
I just think, Man City look throw it away again. If they still don't get that elusive Champions League,
that's very old to be saying that, mate. If if it's 90 minutes, fair. So let's have that conversation. But
how do they look on this season? Just worst case scenario. Is this season a success or failure if they fail to win the Champions League?
Success.
They win the league every year, though.
Doesn't matter. It's the Premier League. It's the toughest league in the world to win. You've won it. You've won it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
You've also claimed the FA Cup. You've done a double. That's still a brilliant season. I look back at Chelsea's 2010 season, and I'm still like, that's brilliant. And Chelsea City's this season is different to other seasons in the fact that most seasons they're a dominant team who sort of slack off maybe towards the end of the season, but often in recent years have had Liverpool pushing them, so they haven't been able to do that. This season they had a really tough start, yet they didn't let that get them down, and they actually recovered sensationally to be able to then overtake Arsenal, who looked pretty flawless up until the World Cup. A crack started to emerge sort of early January, February time. And while that is fortunate for City, they were also sensational. And ultimately, as much as you could look at it and go, they won the league on 85 points, something like that?
Yeah.
They could relax in the last 2 games. That could have easily been another 5 points, 90 points. That's a very respectable tally. I think even if Arsenal hadn't hadn't drawn to like Southampton and others, was it West Ham they drew with, someone like that? So even without that, I still think they're forever this title because they would have lost games to the likes of Newcastle and Brighton still. So I think City will look back at this season, regardless of tonight's result, as a resounding success. But obviously tonight could make it the greatest season in their history because they would perform the treble. And I think, given the fact that they look so out of this, a matter of what? They already looked so out of the Premier League title a matter of 6 months ago, and now they're looking upon treble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a ridiculously good season for Manchester City, regardless of tonight. But obviously, today, as I say, today could make history.
It could. Speaking of history, as the teams are now starting to come out of the tunnel, we said this is the last ever We said this is the last obviously domestic game of the season. This is also the last ever game broadcast on BT Sport.
It is.
What a time to be alive. What a great, through our lifetime, really enjoyed BT Sport. Gonna miss it so much. It's definitely not like they've just changed the name and they've just got the same pundits and people. But
alas.
Sad day.
It is indeed. It's also the penultimate season of the Champions League format.
Yeah.
Next season will be the last season that we ever get this format. After that, will be into the new Champions League format.
I like the new format. I think it's growing.
I'm conflicted.
I want to wait to see what it's like because in Football Manager it's all right.
I'm still undecided as to whether having, because after this, Champions League sides won't be able to get knocked down to the Europa League. And I think while that is... No, they don't.
I thought the losers of the knockout round. Oh. Wow.
No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it does not work like that. But
does that weaken the lower competitions?
Well, it does, but to a certain extent, does it not just make it better? Because at the moment, the Europa League winner is usually just someone who gets knocked out from the Champions League, which isn't like really fair.
Roma win the Champions, or Roma or United win the Europa League this year, without Sevilla or Barca getting knocked down.
What is the new format? We've done some more in-depth videos on it, Nick Nack, but basically they're going from the traditional groups to one big league where you play 8 matches in the league, and then whoever accumulates the most points goes straight through. So the top 8 go straight through to the round of 16, and then the next 32. So there'll now be 48 teams, so there's more teams. But the next 16 teams, go to... they then play off to be the other... to face off against the top 8 in the round of 16. So it's just more. It means more games in the groups, and it means that there will be more teams in the competition.
You could go watch our video on it, but I think the video we did it on it's a disgrace.
We did call it a disgrace, but I think we then changed our mind.
Yeah.
But we did about 3 different videos on it over our time, so
it's
find one on the channel. But
I don't know.
Yeah, we have spoken about it in more detail, but they are sort of the rough things, and then so no team from the Champions League gets knocked down to the Europa League. Which I think makes... I don't know, does it make the Europa League worse, or does it make it better that it's actually down to the teams in the Europa League to win it? Interesting. We'll favour the bigger teams by the sounds of it. Well, to a certain extent, yes, because there's less chance... Over 8 games, there's less chance you bottle 8, so you should still get to the round of 32 at least. Or the playoff. By the way, City have got us back underway. And also the fact that coefficient comes into play. So the 5th place... So the teams with the highest coefficient, the top 2 in Europe, will get an extra place in the Champions League. So as it stands, 5th place in England would qualify for the Champions League. So if we were already in 2024-25, then Liverpool would be getting Champions League football this year. So it does just add. It gives England more European places, which I don't necessarily hate.
I mean, there's already 8 teams in Europe this year.
And we could, with the new format, I believe we could get to 10, 11 maybe. Because you could, in theory, obviously it'd be very difficult to have something like that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, back underway here. Another 45 minutes to go.
Stones.
Will we see a goal in this next 45 minutes? We're out to find out.
There is Johnson. Do you think that if the winner has already qualified for the Champions League, that player should go to the league they're from? So, for example, Liverpool would get the Champions League spot this year.
Maybe.
Because they're not just giving up.
If City win it.
Yeah. Or it would be Roma?
Milan?
I can't remember who's fifth.
No, Roma weren't fifth. Roma were like 8th.
No, Atalanta were 8th. Juve were 7th. Roma were 6th, I think.
Roma that high?
Roma finished 6th. Atalanta were 5th. Milan already got Champions League. And yeah, here is Diaz. Okay. So I believe they just give an extra one to whoever finished top of the Croatian league or something. Definitely Dinamo.
They're not getting there anyway. Let's go to the qualifying rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll either just give them an easy, one less qualifying round or something like that. Yeah, Bernardo Silva a bit over aggressive with DeMarco, not in the views of the referee though, and they will play on now, City, and now he pulls it back. Bit late.
He pulled it back?
I think he realised actually I'm being a melt.
I mean, yeah, he took a solid minute to realise that he was being a melt. Unless a forfeit or a liner suggested to him, that's a foul. Definitely is a foul, just nudges him in the back as he goes to head it. Yeah, that one's going to hurt. Elbows him in the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few words seen them. They were chatting with each other earlier in the game about something. Those two really don't get on.
What, Lautaro and Bernardo?
No, Bernardo and DeMarco.
Oh, Bernardo. Oh, to be fair, they're playing against each other. So
that's how the balls.
Engaged in some battles.
Fighting there between Lautaro and Akanji. Got hit on the head. Very physical game. I mean, clearly City have come out the second half trying to match that physicality.
Well, that will be the message coming straight from Pep Guardiola, isn't it? If they're going to be physical with you, be physical with them. Give as good as you get in this game, lads, because that's the only way you're going to, not really unsettle Inter, but play them at their own game. Because we're trying to play their game, City haven't been able to break them down. Haaland can't beat Acerbi in the air again. Brozovic. Çalhanoğlu. Now Acerbi, Bastoni back to the experienced Italian and back to the young Italian. Here's Bastoni. Ball over the top looking for Edin Dzeko. Also interesting, I believe there's 5 Italians lining up for Inter Milan tonight. I don't think I can name a game where a final in recent years where we've had a team with that many players from its country. Maybe Real Madrid.
In domestic football, obviously.
What do you mean? Oh, well, yeah. Obvious.
Well, yeah.
I meant like a Champions League final, maybe Real Madrid.
How many English players did Chelsea have? Abraham.
Actually,
Mount,
in the starting lineup, Abraham didn't start.
Mount, still Mount, and more Mount.
Was Reece fit?
No, it was Dave.
So it was
Chilwell.
Just Mount and Chile.
Boss on the bench was Abraham and Chalobah.
I think Chalobah. I think it was on loan. Out on loan somewhere. Stoney.
What a ball.
Switches the play. Denzel Dumfries.
Oh, he should have
Can't quite win the header.
So I'll take the throw though. Again, now 4 minutes 30 that Inter have gone. And they are only 40 minutes away from going to extra time. When was the last final we saw at extra time? What was the last Champions League final we saw at extra time?
I honestly can't remember the last Champions League final that actually went that far, and that's a hospital ball from Bernardo Silva.
Passing like that.
Here's the ball high at the pitch. Can he pick out a pass? It's recovered nicely, to be fair.
Why has he not got rid of it?
Fanning around within their own things. We've had Barrett as well, though. Trying to release it to Dzeko, hasn't come off well.
Inzaghi's turn Dzeko.
Exactly, yeah, he wants him shorter.
When was the last final at extra time?
Right. Would it have been 2012? Has there been a final go to extra time since Chelsea? Because honestly, couldn't tell you.
So, if someone in the chat could Google it, please.
Because we had, throughout 2015 and stuff, Real won them all. I can't remember the final of 2014.
Wasn't it that Madrid derby?
Maybe.
Wasn't that 15?
That's 15, I was going to say, yeah.
Real Barca was 16?
Maybe like Juventus 2014, something like that. Can't remember. They didn't win it. I mean, I think they lost it so much.
Let's say, who was the last winner? Someone can find out. That'd be much appreciated. Oh, sorry, when was it not was the last winner? I know who the last winner was. What was the last final into extra time? Gundogan down here after a bit of physical tackle once again.
2015-16, it was won on penalties. No? What does K mean? Oh, sorry, yeah. No, Real Madrid lost the penalty shootout in 2015-16 to Atletico. What?
You sure?
I think this is wrong. Real won it, so they must have won the penalty shootout.
Did that go to penalties?
Apparently.
Oh. Real? I don't remember that one going to penalties. Not that I watched it, but I don't like hear it. No one really talks about that one. So it's been a while, basically.
Yeah, sorry, Real did win the shootout. The other thing was wrong.
So since 8 years.
Yeah, 15-16 was the last
but
time.
Here come Inter Milan, that's a stonewall foul.
Marcinak's unfortunately blind.
That is a stone. Gundogan's just come through the back of him.
Foden, that's a good challenge from Dumfries.
Does the same, and Darmian does the same. That's exactly the same that happened at the other end, and Dier's been booked for it. He hasn't been booked. Or is he going to get booked? Poor decision. Martinez just gets his feet.
It's weird how they always seem to,
that's a
pick
foul.
one team or the other, don't they? To benefit. We'll just point out, by the way, that obviously we had 3 Italian sides in European finals so far. They've all lost.
As I say, yeah.
Bar Inter.
We're talking about on the preview. I mean, Inter can do something, it's not only magical, but. And they've lost to an English.
Which is strange because I would have backed the other two over Inter. Yet Inter have got the best fight.
Fiorentina gave a good game.
Well, Roma gave a good game, but best fight has to be. They all gave a good game.
Just because Inter, obviously, there's a bit more golfing quality, isn't there? With Fiorentina and West Ham, they're close. Sevilla, Roma, they're close.
Yeah, Inzaghi. He cannot stay. He cannot stay still, can he? Even while drinking there, he's crouched over trying to give instructions.
He's just waving his water bottle around at people now. Throw into Inter Milan. I don't know how that happened. We didn't get to see the free kick.
If you're going to roll around after a mile challenge, if they're going to roll around after a mile challenge, you may as well put a strong one in. Exactly, knick-knack. Go through him. Worth it. Anyway, Stones tries to wriggle for a few into defenders. Ultimately has to just knock it back to Diaz. Here's Ake. Rodri. Think we'll do a breakthrough soon for City. Here comes John Stones. That's marvellous. Can he shift it to Ilkay Gundogan? Gundogan forced backwards. Goes out wide. Grealish, this needs to go into the box. It does go into the box. Headed away by Darmian. Falls to Stones.
There will be a breakthrough. Don't know who's going to be
caught by Dzeko, told to get up. That's
lazy. That one's a foul there. The ref gives
Martinez caught, yeah.
There's 2 fouls in there, actually.
Free kick to Inter Milan.
Bill Fosse didn't touch him. Which fell to the floor by himself, did he? We'll find out in a minute, hopefully.
To be fair, I would not be surprised.
Chanoglu running through. Oh no.
He did. Just fall to the ground by himself. But then Lautaro was caught afterwards.
Yeah, I understand why Foden's annoyed though.
Smart that from Chanoglu though.
Oh yeah, because in the mix of all the bodies, the ref sees one go to the ground, he's going to give a free kick.
I saw 2 go to the ground.
Yeah, even better.
Barea tries that ball in behind, and it's actually Lautaro giving it chase, and he's won the ball high up the pitch.
Needs help though.
Martinez needs some options. Needs to see Chanoglu on the edge. Chanoglu.
If that wasn't blocked, I think that challenges Edison.
Yeah, Dimarco
blocked, so
could put the ball in here. No one closes him down.
You can't afford to put it over.
It's above him. Martinez will keep this alive. He wants the throw in.
Inter fans getting up on their feet to applaud their team.
Barea trying to encourage the atmosphere just up a notch. Try and lift the roof off this stadium.
The Inter end. Connect the ball in the box.
Brozovic.
They work their way around.
Darmian.
They end up back their goalkeeper again, similar to in the first half.
Bastoni.
They are as well.
Going on is very high, to be fair.
This is a problem. This is always under. Oh my god, what's he doing? I didn't realise he kicked the ball. I thought he still had the ball there, just running.
Brozovic and Dzeko's down.
I mean,
his legs are failing him at
Lukaku come on here.
37. Bit of cramp. I don't think this will be the end of his game. He just needs to stretch.
Inter fans getting going now. They sense their side has a chance now.
55 minutes. Oh no, Lukaku is on.
He's already on the pitch. Romelu Lukaku is coming on for Inter Milan. I mean,
Dzeko,
what redemption arc.
I don't think Dzeko is tired. I think he wants to get off quicker. And there we go. Edin Dzeko off. Romelu
Lukaku comes on now, being on loan from Chelsea and scores and winning the Champions League final. And redemption arc from last season.
It's not just written in the stars. But then Inter surely buy him with the Champions League money. Lovely days.
Haven't Inter won 3 Champions League titles?
Yes.
How come they got 1 star on their badge?
Because I don't know what.
Or is it a star for every 3?
Stars don't really, count towards.
I think it's a star for every 3.
Potentially. But also, like, Bayern have 5 because that's the Bundesliga, and they assign stars as well. So they recently added their 5th, I believe, for their 20th title.
Dumfries. Oh, I had to find Martinez there.
But I think they get 6 at 30 or something like that, and they're not far off.
How are they going to fit them all on? Just go round the whole whack.
Eventually. When they get to their 100th title consecutively, they're just going to have, like, it's just going to be stars.
Yeah, just put a white shirt and just make it full of stars. That's De Bruyne, that's not John Stones. 33 minutes to go. Inter still holding resolutely.
You know the old Manchester City logo used to have 3 stars on it?
For what?
For nothing. It just put some stars on the patch. Which I guess isn't...
Are you allowed to do that? Probably
seemingly.
Oh yeah, what's stopping you putting stars on your badge?
Maybe there's some ruling against it now, but...
Because it's going to look like you've won trophies.
Yeah.
And Dortmund trying to put like 8 stars.
But equally, you could claim, that's us 2 FA Cups we won, mate. So I've stuck some stars on our badge. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Akanji's been caught out. Martinez is put by Ederson.
Oh, he's got to do better.
That's massive miscommunication there. Martinez had to square it.
Huge let off for Manchester City.
Inzaghi almost tackled Stones there. Oh, and here comes City. Foden.
Off the pitch.
Still Foden.
Yeah.
Caught in the challenge, and it's pulled back, and it's a yellow card.
That is a foul. And it's probably a yellow card. But I mean, what a missed opportunity for Inter Milan.
How didn't Inter score?
Huge lack of communication. And how have they not scored?
Pereira is lost as to how they've not scored there.
That could be costly.
Yeah.
That could be absolutely huge.
He thinks it's a good challenge, to be fair, Pereira. But the ball goes back. Kanji leaves it because he thinks he doesn't know Martinez is there. He thinks he's just going to come and get it.
Oh, was he shot?
He's got to square up Brozovic, and Akers on the edge. He's got Lukaku up there with him. But he goes for goal. A big moment. And again, Pep's almost... so I think he reacted badly when the pass was made. I don't think he reacted badly when the shot was...
Yeah. Lukaku saying, mate, square it. Why haven't you squared it?
Unbelievable.
And now we're at the other end, and mate, what's her name? Man City have got a free kick in a deadly position. But what a waste.
Ederson half asleep there. I don't know, I think it's a complete miscommunication. Ederson's not aware he's supposed to be coming and getting it. Akanji thinks he's got a lot more time than he does. He's not aware of Martinez.
Well, he let the ball run because it was overhit pass. I think he would have looked back. Maybe Ederson made a movement or something, and Akanji thought, he's running, so he left it, turned around.
It wouldn't have been a massive concern if he didn't know where Lautaro was. Diaz, they're just catching. I mean, he does make contact with the ball, but the header. Not on target by any stretch.
Oh, that could be. That's the biggest opportunity at the final so far.
And that's a big chance missed.
Who'd have thought that?
Ball in behind. Lautaro's putting
Akanji's having a bit of a torrid
tough
time
at the moment. I think as soon as you make one mistake, suddenly the nerves start to creep in.
Who would have thought Inter Milan would have more shots than Man City so far?
Again, quality of shots isn't determined by number.
I know, but still, they've created them. Yeah, Brozic's shot was a bit wacky.
I was going to say, yeah.
But Akanji had a shot that was horrific as well. Brozovic been absolutely spun by Grealish.
to Stones. Oh, the touch is poor.
Do you know
but Stones, though, will look to ignite a counter-attack. Martinez, Brozovic. This has got to go over the top. Dumfries. Can you flag Lukaku?
If you're Inzaghi, get Mkhitaryan on.
Not just yet. You've already made a sub.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Look at 65 minutes maybe for Mkhitaryan, but also you've got to consider you've got 3 stoppages. You've already used one, of course, for Lukaku.
And in half an hour, we could see extra time coming up.
Exactly. You're going to want to savour. Obviously, you will get you'll get breaks
In
at
the
the end of the
back
game.
in here, got a bit of an overload. That's a poor pass from Haaland.
Darmian.
Haaland.
Dumfries.
I'd probably say he has 8 touches.
I said no, it's 9 in the first half, as I was looking at.
So maybe that's now 12.
3 touches in the second half.
13. That's not ideal.
10.
10. Is that,
That's his second touch of the second half. And we've played 15 minutes.
Yeah.
2 touches.
Wow.
In the second half.
Erling Haaland is confirmed a washed baller. Inter fight they look more comfortable, a lot more. They look like they're actually in this final.
Compare that to Martinez, who's had 23. Even Dzeko got 13. Not many. How many Lukaku had since he come on? 1. Really good.
Better than his 6 touches. If we get more 6 than 6.
But again, he's had as many touches in the last 5 minutes as Haaland. So.
Is Lukaku better than Haaland? Let's have the debate.
I don't think there's a debate to be had, mate.
Oh, that was huge from Cherby. If not, Haaland was in behind. That's a foul.
Has Haaland ever scored in the Serie A? Didn't think so.
No. And here come Inter. Here they come.
Brozovic.
Brilliant.
Martinez. It's slightly overhit, but DeMarco recovers it. Lukaku and Co in the box. You wanted that in there.
Go in. Look at the
Brozovic, Barrea. Now this could go into the box, and still no.
What a waste.
Brozovic.
Deliver it.
He might just have a shot if they get close enough. Bastoni.
Now
Barrea's got to put this in the box. There we go.
Rubbish.
It's not great. But they could win the second ball. Falls to DeMarco. But Diaz is taller and stronger.
He's got to run back round. Ake doesn't know he's there.
Better.
I
think Ake was aware of him, to be fair.
Probably.
Haaland wins the header, but it results in nothing. That's a shocking pass.
Lazy again, and now they've got to get back. Because again, there's an overload on this left-hand side because DeMarco's not there. But Stone's got to know he's got to come around.
Stones overlapping.
It's an overload.
Here's John Stones, and it's brilliant from Bastoni just to get a foot in there.
I thought that was for a corner. His own goal there.
Bastoni avoids that embarrassment, at least.
27 minutes on the clock. Still all square. I wouldn't have seen this happening. I did say the game would go to extra time, be 0-0.
I was going to say, this was literally your prediction.
I know that was kind of me talking my heart, not my brain.
Okay.
This was my prediction. Now I've said that, this is definitely going to go in this corner. Grealish on the corner.
Could leap this in now, Jack Grealish.
Needs a good delivery.
He's unhappy about something.
Ref straight, something on the middle.
He wants a drink.
Bastoni, I'll chat the referee. What's happening? Him and Stones, bit of argy-bargy, ref's not having it. Now we can take the corner. Now Kanji's pushing people around.
Kanji and Darmian, because Kanji wants to be on Onana and Darmian not
in from Grealish.
Bernardo,
Stones. After all of that, Stones push Bastoni to the floor.
And he wants some. He wants some now, and this is going to get feisty.
I want some, I'll give it to you. That's Brozovic trying to fight Stones.
I would not fight a man with a bomb tattoo on his neck.
No. Yeah, Stones. Oh, what's he thinking?
Both of them and Bastoni are holding each other, though, so. And then he pulls him back.
No. Oh, Bastoni, get up. There was not a... Is he trying to bomb in his neck? It sounds like it's... Oh, Pet's got the pad out.
Oh, he's jogging up to the line. To the...
What's he saying? No, nothing.
Technical area. Yeah, it's great to see both managers so animated in this final.
It's brilliant. It's like watching.
Inzaghi's on his knees the whole time.
Yeah. So I was squatted over and it's like this. Pep's just running back and forth from his bench because it's absolutely it's like a mile walk.
So far. Really get the cardio in, Pep.
Yeah.
Jogging backwards and forwards. Inzaghi's not been in his technical area the whole game. He's practically on the sideline. He's marking Bernardo Silva.
Look at him, yeah. He's close to him than any other Inter player.
Yeah, man on me. Come get a goal.
Guys, come pick him up. I can't take him when he runs away.
He would. It's like, have you seen the clip of Mourinho at Soccer Aid? He just tackles Ollie Murs.
Yeah.
And I just go down the wing and just walks on and clobbers.
He just does
I can 100% see.
Brozovic, that's silly.
It's not though. It's not going to be yellow.
But I thought he was getting that's like 7th foul of the game.
Exactly.
John Stones looks sunburnt. 25 minutes
Probably
to go in Istanbul. Will we see a miracle?
To be fair, Inter have only committed 12 fouls. 13 now.
That's 8 at half time.
To 6. So you have not been clean themselves. That was silly. Haaland. Here's Haaland.
Oh, big tackle from Bastoni.
Huge
That was
from
a certain
Bastoni.
goal. Lukaku trying to throw his weight around, struggling. He already looks tired, Lukaku.
Yeah. Manchester City quickly approaching 400 passes in this game. They've been immense in possession, but they've done nothing with it. So, game feels very different now to the first half. I feel like the energy's been sapped out a little bit, so there's more mistakes are happening.
That suits Inter more.
Yeah, more mistakes are happening, which on both sides, but it's been sloppier. As tired legs are starting to emerge, as tired minds are starting to emerge.
When will we start to see unforced changes? We've seen one forced change for each side through injuries.
The problem is you've got extra time to consider. You don't want to upset the balance of the game right now. Both Inter more than City. Inter could make a change to try and ignite something, but the problem is their impact was Phil Foden. They've made that change. Of course, they could bring on Alvarez. They could bring on Mahrez, but ultimately, I wouldn't take Bernardo out of this game. I wouldn't take Gundogan out of this game
plays through
for this.
Bernardo, ball across. Was there a hand in there?
Falls to Rodri, and he hits it home. And there's the breakthrough. Manchester City are finally in front. It's been a while. It's been a while coming. They've dominated this game so far, and a momentary lapse in concentration for Inter, and finally they've got their breakthrough. You sensed it was coming. You just sensed it was coming, didn't you? And De Bruyne, elated from the touchline. Walker in the huddle, one of the substitutes. Now the other players go and join in. Pure elation for City. It finally fell to someone in the right sort of area to take a shot. And it's just a moment of lapse.
Why has Bastoni stepped out there? DeMarco
falls over. No one gets to Rodri. No one goes out to him. No one even tries to block the shot. DeMarco falls. It's just, you just felt they just started to tire too much, and one of these has to put their body in front of it.
How has that gone round them both?
Because they don't move. If they're running at it, but yeah.
I know. I can't see it.
It's a shame. It's been a good performance.
City take the lead
so far, but yeah.
And with 22 minutes to go, you feel like that could be that.
You felt like that was coming, didn't you? But yeah. No, they've got to put themselves out.
Yeah,
and they've got to push, and that worries me because that only opens the door more for City.
But what a time for Rodri to hit one of his
second goal. Only his second goal in the Champions League thus far.
And City fans are now up on their feet, absolutely loving it. Inter have got to find something from somewhere. But take nothing away from them, they're putting in a brilliant performance. But they have 21 minutes to try and get something from that.
Caught in possession into that's given us a free kick, and Brozovic keen to go quickly with it.
Yeah, they've got to get going now. They've absolutely got to get that going. And they're sure out of that.
You just think for all the chances Inter have missed, to concede as well in that manner. Here is Martinez.
Brilliant.
DeMarco. Comes off Stones and it falls to Marcelo Brozovic. Here's DeMarco. He's going to get a second chance if he wants it. No, goes to Brozovic. He puts the ball in and it's poor. Çalhanoğlu tries to flick it on. It's going to fall to DeMarco.
Heads it.
It's off the keeper. DeMarco.
Lukaku's blocked it. Oh my God. How have Inter Milan not scored in this game?
That's a soft foul. He's fuming.
That is a so soft foul.
Inter cannot believe they've not scored.
How has he not
blocked it?
Inter Milan have come so close today.
DeMarco loops over the keeper. It comes back off the crossbar and back to DeMarco. We'll see it again here. Poor ball in. Chandler keeps it alive. Dumfries then keeps it alive. Goes to DeMarco, who's onside. Flicks over the keeper. Falls to the crossbar. He then he then heads it. Blocked by the foot of Romelu Lukaku. Who, if he just managed to sort out his footing there, could have flicked it home.
Oh, he lands from. He jumped up. Don't know why he's jumped.
Can't believe there's not a goal there.
20 minutes to go. They've had so many chances. How are they? I mean, yes, they've been under pressure, but they've had so many chances. How have they not scored in this game?
Akanji's now down with an injury.
We're going to watch it back. Brilliant from Dumfries. DeMarco, first header, does really well. Crossbar. Oh, it's just...
The thing is, Lukaku also goes for the header thinking he has a chance at it, which then means he's in the way and can't move.
You also feel like, could DeMarco head it the other direction? He does just head it straight. Oh, I guess he sees the bottom corner.
Yeah. Not the first time Lukaku has gone in the way of the goal. There's that viral one of him. Oh, there's a viral one of him hitting his head. Yeah. Maybe he should have scored with the first header. I mean, he could have, but...
He did well to get it on target.
Of course it was Lukaku. Exactly. If it's anyone else, it's not like comical go, but of course it's Romelu Lukaku. Play continues, ball over the top looking for Haaland. He heads it down. First time he's actually won a header all day, but it comes to nothing. Now he's Bastoni. You've got to hope into maybe he can do something in this game. A 1-0 win for City is a bit dull.
I think Pep will know they've been let off the hook.
Yeah, they've not been stunning.
The Kanji Edison mishap, which they should have pounced on, and then that one there where you...
Lukaku, this is a chance for Inter.
Shot away straight at Edison. But again, it's another chance created by Inter Milan. They've played really well. They have played really well. Their performance merits a result from this game. It really does, especially when they're such a lower opposition than Manchester City. But Manchester City they're only 17 minutes away from that first Champions League they have been wanting for a very long time.
Bastoni. Chanoglu round the corner. Here's DeMarco. DeMarco gives it back to Bastoni. Here comes Alessandro Bastoni. Goes down. Not a foul in the eyes of the referee.
Roger emerges with the ball. Fouls given for similar things though.
Yeah, it was the shirts with the other colours.
Haaland's been nowhere in this game, by the way.
Yeah, literally. But equally, it's his out of possession movement, off the ball movement that's helped City create the space for the goal, of course. Bastoni. Lukaku flicks it over the top. There's too much on it. He tries to find Lautaro, but there's too much on it.
Clock's ticking.
City will get nervy as long as it's 1-0. But can it actually create a chance of good enough quality? That's smart.
They have. They've had their chances.
Nothing's in quality though, other than the Lautaro one. They didn't even create that. But I guess you could say the press they applied created it. But
I mean, the DeMarco one,
yeah,
he's like a yard out. Got a yard out. Kyle Walker is going to come on from Manchester City, by the way. But you feel Inzaghi's got to make his subs now because there's no going to extra time. This is do or die.
Even the Brozovic one in the first half, I think you'll look back on that with regrets.
Yeah. They've got
to just had a bit of composure, he would have moved it out wide.
Got to go for this. You've bought on Lukaku, that's kind of your change. Mkhitaryan. Walker's coming on for Akanji. I think it's Akanji. That's not.
No.
Ake. Not Ake.
No, it's Akanji. Just to see this game out.
Yeah, and what Angel Correa. Is that Angel Correa? No, it's not.
No. It'll be wacky.
Someone's coming on for Inter. Oh, yeah. Who is coming on for Inter? It is number 92.
Okay, Robin
Gosens coming for DeMarco.
And that is Bellanova. Wing back.
2 wing backs.
So Bastoni's off.
DeMarco left centre half.
Yeah, and then Villanova presumably on the... But they're both... Villanova's a left wing back, no? Might be right wing back, actually. But you wouldn't take Dumfries off, surely.
Yeah, you would.
Interesting. Getting Man City, don't see Inter coming back, says Chelsea fan. You never know.
Still can't believe you're supporting City in this game.
Yeah, Chelsea fan, that's...
Is there a reason?
Yeah, just Chelsea fan, is it just that they're English, or do you have a reason to support City? Do you secretly hate Inter Milan? Ilkay Gundogan.
14 minutes to go. A second goal now will win the game.
Headed away by Darmian. Here's Jack Grealish. Bernardo. Now Gundogan. And here's Nathan Ake. Grealish now. Yeah, Grealish can look to make something. Here is Rodri. Akanji. And it's Bernardo. Bernardo Silva goes back. All the way back to Akanji. Back to Diaz. Diaz may look for Edison, but instead goes to Ake. So he's just happy to hold on to possession, but it's one back by Inter, only to be given back to City. Great interception that just went back to City play. Oh, that is brilliant from Phil Foden. The turn, the drive, the shot blocked well, saved well.
That hard off move and drag with Stoney out was brilliant. He's such a good player.
Yeah. Oh, Chelsea just doesn't want Lukaku to win.
Oh. I think it increases his price tag.
Yeah, and he might actually be sold, but now he won't. Because he just blocked a chance in the Champions League final.
So if he scores now, people might actually want to buy him.
Do you know where I think he'd be the perfect fit?
Where?
PSG.
There you go.
Bit of a... I don't think he's got much.
He'd score 15 at least, goals at least.
He'd be sensational in Ligue 1. Because his physicality is like nothing in that league. But he's also not the slowest player. He's very strong, good finisher. I also think he'd be a good sort of target striker that you can then... You could play off to Mbappe and a right winger, potentially Asensio if he starts. I think he makes perfect sense. And you can play Mbappe on the left.
Which way he wants to play?
Lukaku.
Allegedly.
And then Asensio.
12 minutes. In Istanbul, could we see another miracle?
MLA. Does that have the ring of a BBC and MSN? I don't know.
Say if Benzema leaving Real Madrid, it does mean that there's none of the MSN.
I thought you were going to say that Lukaku should go to Real.
God no.
Lukaku flicks on. Bellanova, chance here for Inter. Can they make something of it? We can only pray. Bellanova ball in, wins a corner. Can Inter find a goal?
They are knocking. But can they break down that City door? They've had so many hands. This is brilliant.
That's more like Lukaku's headbutting it.
Yeah. Pep knows that was massive.
But that might break through, to be fair.
Yeah. Pep knows if Foden scored there, the game would have been over. But instead, they now have to defend their lives in these last 11 minutes.
Ball in. Tries to flick on it. Haaland gets rid though. Brozovic.
Gotta get out wide. Gotta get it back out wide. Yeah, they do.
Barrea. Çalhanoğlu goes low with it for
Barrea has... Oh, rubbish.
Yeah.
Why has he
tried to catch out Edison.
Why has he done that? Just if it will win the box.
I think that's what he tried to do, just overhit it really. I replayed this goal then. It just takes the deflection off with Stoney to bring it back to Rodri, but yeah. Someone's got to throw themselves for that. Where is anyone really trying?
Why Darmian doesn't just make himself as big as possible? Why does Çalhanoğlu not put his body or handball at any rate handball it?
I don't handball it. You just get sent off and a penalty, which is more likely to be a goal.
Yeah, true. I guess it wasn't that late in the game. It was like 91st minute, you do it.
Foden, Haaland,
big tackle,
huge challenge.
This game's become much more open. It's been brilliant.
Bernardo. He's just such a problem, isn't he, Bernardo, for Inter?
Brozovic, he's going nowhere. That is really silly from Marcelo Brozovic. And again, why is Inzaghi not put on Mkhitaryan?
You just feel I would not have played Brozovic today. I don't know why he's annoyed.
It's so stupid.
He just picks up silly yellows too often. He just throws him he grabs his shirt, throws him to the floor. Fernando's more than happy just to...
What is he doing?
Pick himself back up.
Absolute muppets.
Just need more quality on the delivery. Here's Bernardo. Free kick now. Chance for City to add to their lead.
And now they've got to go.
Surely, just long, instantly.
I think everyone came back to defend though. Oh, and who's down? Someone's ripped their shirt.
I think that's like Stones.
Walker's going to finally get on the pitch now.
Yeah, John Stones.
Oh, he's got, I think,
a riff in the side of his shirt. He seems to be in a lot of discomfort.
It's like a grass mark, but he's got a stud mark. Just on his abdomen.
Cheers, Doc.
He's got a tattoo under his left.
That's what happens here. Is it Gozen's pulling at his shirt? Ooh.
Yeah, I don't really know. That's a bit of a weird one. I'd like to see another angle. Oh, that's his...
Really zooming in at his armpits, isn't it?
I say, shaven. 9 minutes to go.
I don't think they will bother changing his shirt though. They'll just sub on Kyle Walker.
Yeah. Stones is gonna come off with an applause from the City fans. The applause back. They are 9 minutes away.
Potentially looking a bit more of a deeper, because they've not got anyone that will push forward into the midfield now. Just a solid flat back four.
But bringing on Walker. Ooh, that's
almost stepped out of his box there.
So. But also does negate the Kyle coming on. Does negate the fact that Inter could go over the top because he will cover that round. 10 attempts for Inter. 10 attempts.
Yeah.
Not a single goal. In a Champions League final, when you have 10 shots, you have to score one.
And yeah, Stones makes his way back to the dugout to a little applause.
Standing ovation from the various coaches and physios and whoever else is there.
Obviously, you get more of it. You get to see more of all of the coaching staff because they're not in their rows like they usually are in benches. There's just one long bench, loads of seats.
Oh, again, what is Lukaku doing? They go, just silly. Inter throwing this away themselves. Missed chances and stupid fouls. Machete coming off was probably their worst decision. Because not only has Lukaku blocked a shot, he's now going booked for assaulting Gundogan from behind and just been all round rubbish.
Yeah.
And the clock keeps ticking. Another minute's gone by now. 7 minutes remain. Manchester City are so close now to their
and the double change for Inter. D'Ambrosio and Mkhitaryan. They're going for this now. It's Çalhanoğlu to make way for Henrik Mkhitaryan. And it is the number 36. Mario Darmian off for D'Ambrosio.
We said this is the one man that could change this game. Not D'Ambrosio, Mkhitaryan. D'Ambrosio come on score, but Mkhitaryan's got a big job in us. But he's only been given 7 minutes. He needed longer.
And it's currently City in possession. Ball through to Foden to put this to bed.
Corner
locked and out for a corner.
They'll take this because now they're just wasting time. That's why I took a knock to the gonads.
Yep.
It's going to hurt.
Just have to push through.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just threw himself. Put himself on the line there.
Struggling a little bit.
Colin to just go for it, nothing to lose now. But they've got to do it in a measured manner because obviously if they concede now, that's game over. But
they won't want to lose 2-0 because that looks like they won't in the game.
No, I don't think they'll be too bothered about losing 2. I just don't want to concede because then that's it. That's the dream over.
They'll go gun ho in a couple of minutes.
They're going to start to push forwards now, of course, but they're not going to completely go everything forwards.
Well, that was rubbish, but
I know because they can't. He was sort of scared of Haaland standing so close to Onana, and that's a throw for Inter. So they can get this play going quickly.
Gotta get on with it though.
Bastoni, Onana, pretty much playing as a 4th centre half right now. Finds Lukaku. Lovely bit of play. Here's Henrik Mkhitaryan. Gozens. Why is he just fired it at the head of Lukaku? Martinez. Robin Gosens, man, that's poor. Just got to go long, hard and low, and hope Martinez can make a bit of contact with it and fire it home. Yeah. Players now absolutely drained as we reach the conclusion of this final.
For a brilliant game. Brilliant game.
And not only is good, that's why it's been so difficult for City to break through. Well, it also helps that Inter practically sat on their goal line at times. Yes. Apart from the time it mattered most.
As it goes along.
DeMarco. Quick throw to his keeper, who is not sat in his goal anymore. Gosens. He is just part of the build-up now, Onana. Because what's the consequence? If they concede, that's it. Oh well. They're losing anyway. They need him for this ball long.
Again, look at
one by Diaz. Now Gundogan is happy to take his time about bringing this forward. Not in any rush. Grealish. Can he feed someone through? Trying to make something happen. Just going towards the corner. Into throw. They want to go quickly now. Mkhitaryan takes it in his stride. Going for a dribble now. Tries to find Lukaku. Blocked by Ake. Reaching a bit of a dull now, this game. Well, not dull, but a lull. They need something into. They need a spark, something up front. They're going to start to throw more and more men forwards, starting to commit more and more to the attack, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough yet. Here is Brozovic. Now with DeMarco. Inter. Just minutes remaining in this final. I don't think they've got it. I just don't think they've got what it takes. Here is Varela. Gosens.
You've got to find something.
Mkhitaryan, Gosens, Varela. Can you pick out the right pass? There's no options. There's no options. They need to put the ball in the box, but they just won't. Mkhitaryan, Varela, Mkhitaryan, Gosens. This has got to go into the box. It's another shit delivery. Bellanova. He wants to cross it. Ball in. Gosens. Across the box. Look at that! How has he missed?
How is that not in?
How has he missed?
I do not know how it's not going to go.
Oh my god.
That was it. That was the chance for Inter Milan. Romelu Lukaku.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
With 2 minutes to go, that could be costly. It's another massive chance gone away.
A ball in from DeMarco, flicked on by Lautaro and out for a goal kick. Lukaku's got to finish. There's no other way about that. Romelu Lukaku has to finish that.
Oh,
he's hit it straight at the keeper.
Why did you put it into the ground?
He's hit it and towards the keeper. Look,
just put it anywhere.
It strikes his knee. They get very lucky. City. Diaz almost puts it in his own net. Jesus.
How has Lukaku not scored?
Can't believe it. Cannot believe it.
Nor can City fans. They know they should be level. Inter fans know they should be level.
Furious.
Every single person watching this final right now knows that Inter Milan should be level.
Wow. Wow. What a miss.
It's an open goal, basically.
Yeah.
And he hit it the one
No,
place.
basically. I bet that generated at least a 0.9 maybe even. 0.8.
He's got the ball again.
Let's just go.
Running through. Brilliant. Has a go. Blocked. It's a corner.
Take a touch. No, goal kick.
Oh, no.
Puts perfectly through the legs
of
the defender.
And you feel that's gone. Depending on how much out of time we get. Edison's gone down injured. Here come the dart arts from City.
Okay, 0.56.
What a waste.
XG for Lukaku.
This shot. Yeah, rubbish. How is this not a goal? How is this not a goal? In the Champions League final, how do you not head that?
By the way, Inter generated 1.69 XG to City's 0.94. They've had 11 to 7 shots. They've had 4 big chances to 2 big chances. They've missed all of those big chances.
5 minutes out of time, but there's no doubt City Inter should be level. You're not winning this game.
Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku will always find a way.
Just wow.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
It's just like, how? How did he miss that? He's a striker. He's not even like, he's like Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, like someone who's never done anything. It's great. He was renowned as one of the most deadly finishers when he played for Inter just 2 years ago. And now, that.
Even if he just headed it straight with his body,
Jesus.
he'd have scored. But he pulled it back towards the goalkeeper. I'm just in disbelief.
Grealish. Out of play, in a throw. They've got to go. 4 minutes. They've gone back to Onana, who is faffing about with it. He's caught by Haaland, and he wants to scrap him.
Haaland's to get booked. And Onana doesn't care at yellow cards. He wants to go. Why isn't Haaland
been booked? Because he attacked Haaland, and now he's got to keep his mouth shut. He's going to go as well. They're wasting time in there. Just get on with it. Onana's been a prat there. Yeah. He's messing about in the corner. Then he decides to fight Haaland, get himself a yellow for his troubles, and then he has a go at the ref. What do you expect? Brozovic. Varela gives chase. Ake will just see this out. City throw. 5 additional minutes for 3 minutes left.
I cannot believe that Inter are not level in this game.
We're getting the stats, Jack, of just football for carry. You managed to hit it to the keeper. I know. I genuinely, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it.
And it's going to give Manchester City... Don't get me wrong, Manchester City have been brilliant, alright? Oh, free kick.
Free kick and a chance.
Don't get me wrong, Manchester City have been brilliant. But in this 90 minutes, no one can tell me otherwise. Inter Milan deserve to win this game.
Deserve
to be in the game.
Interesting.
They warrant a chance.
Played well and they should have scored.
Yeah. They should be in this game.
DeMarco.
They could still be.
Barrea!
Oh, no.
Doesn't catch it well, and it's a comedy dive from Edison in response.
2 minutes to go. I think it's gone. They have come so close to this Champions League into Milan. But so
heads
City.
out. Barrea just...
And City may finally get it.
Doesn't quite catch it. And a yellow card for Edison. He's taking a drink rather than taking the goal kick.
He will not care.
I think you've done it. I think you might be right, Precious. Minute 50. Left of added time. Got to be careful. Oh, Edison slips as he takes that. Probably all the water he's been drinking spills him. D'Ambrosio tries to win it. Haaland. D'Ambrosio fighting away. DeMarco. And Bernardo goes down.
They've got to go.
I wouldn't say Inter deserves to win, but they've made it a contest. They have. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
No knick-knack. They've not. It's very hard to say they deserve to win because I do think the City side deserve to win the Champions League.
Edison comes and grabs, and he's going to sit on that.
But surely that's a second yellow then.
Does it like he's going to sit there for? Get Scott Carson on.
Trying to get off as soon as the final whistle goes, Gary. I'll stick around for the trophy lift, mate.
We need to stick around with us to watch the trophy lift.
Yeah.
And Nana's got it. And why is he rolling it out for? Why are you rolling it out for?
Mkhitaryan.
Wow, what are they doing?
Prattling about now, and they've got to go long.
You're losing the Champions Final with 30 seconds to go and you're pissing about at the back.
Brozovic, Onana. This is too deep. He's
what are you running for?
Driving it forwards. Ball long. One by Diaz.
What a waste.
Out for a throw.
What a rubbish.
20 seconds to go.
Oh, what are you going backwards for? Brats. Bunch of them.
Brozovic. Is there a flick on in there? Gosens. It just doesn't fall to anyone. Çalhanoğlu. Sorry, Mkhitaryan. Brozovic. Seconds left in this final. Barrea. Villanova is there.
Deliver.
One last chance.
Oh, rubbish.
It's a corner.
Corner. This is it.
It's a corner ball.
Got to get up. This is it. This is
Guardiola can't believe it. He knows there's a chance. Someone's just ran at Inzaghi. What?
Someone just ran at Inzaghi.
Don't know what is going on.
Ref's going over. Don't know why. Someone has just bolted it at Inzaghi.
He held him off though, units.
He did just show him off. Ref's back over. They're going to take the corner. This is it. This is the Champions League final in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. We're nearly in 6 minutes of time. DeMarco. Victor! What a save! Brozovic, what's he... Oh, he's funny now. And that's it.
Manchester City are your European champions. Their first ever European title for the club founded in 2008. What a moment for Manchester City. Guardiola rejoices as he finally wins a Champions League title with Manchester City. It's been a long time coming. They came so close in the past. 2021, they lost in the final. But in 2023, they win. Manchester City are your Champions League winners for 2023. Their players can't believe it. Their fans can't believe it. They've completed a historic treble and will go down as one of the strongest and best sides to ever play the beautiful game. And Inter, well, they wonder what it could have been. Because tonight, many missed chances, many opportunities to win, yet they threw them all away. They came so close, yet ultimately in the end they come away with nothing. Manchester City won't care though. They are champions. And they deserve after the season they have. Haaland's in tears. The robot has shown his emotions. It all came down to an unlikely source. Rodri with the goal. Inter players just can't quite handle the emotions after a result like that.
On another day, Inter Milan win this game. They missed so many chances. They had so many clear-cut opportunities to score, and they missed them. And that has cost them.
Yeah.
Cost them massively. And they're going to look back on this game and go, Lautaro's chance where there was a defensive mishap. Lukaku's chance where he had an open goal and headed it at the goalkeeper. DeMarco's first header that hit the bar, and the second one that was saved by Lukaku. So many chances that Inter Milan had to win today, and they missed them. And no doubt about it, Manchester City deserved to win the Champions League this year. It was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was going to happen one year, and this year is their year. They've won the treble. They have finally got their hands on the Champions League trophy. Fair play to Inter. You know, most people thought it'd be convincing for City. Inter Milan gave them a good game. They are the better side in certain parts of that game. Hat off to Inzaghi. He's probably one of the only managers this season to go toe-to-toe tactically with Pep Guardiola and give him a challenge all the way till the end. And it took a very good goal from Rodri to separate the sides. I mean, wow. I mean, what a game it was. Brilliant game. City deserve to win it. They're going to enjoy it. Brilliant, brilliant treble. For Inter Milan, it's the one that got away. But you have to take the hat off to Manchester City. They've done it. They have finally won.
It took them a while, hasn't it? It took them a while.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
They've done it.
Pep Guardiola has achieved everything he could, apart from winning the Super Cup.
Yeah.
But, wow. Just wow. Fair enough. They are a brilliant team. One of the best teams we were going to see in a very long time. But the fact that Inter challenged them today and it was only 1-0 was brilliant to see. Brilliant to see.
Yeah. Yeah, an excellent performance from Manchester City. They've been brilliant this season and they thoroughly deserve this. Thoroughly deserve this. But yeah, we have been going a while now. Chat, should we call it there or should we stay on for the trophy lift? If there's enough people that want to stick about for the trophy lift, then we'll stay on. But if not, I'll be honest, we've watched 3 trophy lifts in the past 2 weeks.
And the last thing I want to watch
is
Manchester City,
aren't they? But yeah, if there's enough people that want to stick about, then we will watch the trophy lift. If not, we'll probably call it a night there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
See what people say.
And yeah. Inter fans are still proud of their players for getting even this far.
I think it will kick for Inter because most of their players know that was their last chance.
Yeah, that's not very emotional because obviously, I mean, anyone would be, but
I think he'll get his chance.
Do you get the sense? Maybe.
I think he'll get his chance.
Do you think he'll go somewhere else this summer?
Maybe.
Where?
Anyway, he's a striker.
Chelsea.
Could he believe
United.
Could he believe in the Tottenham project?
Does anyone believe in the Tottenham project?
No, probably not. But I think, for players like Cherby, the older players, Brozovic, they will know that was probably their last chance to win the Champions League. And the fact they were so close for most of the game was brilliant. But what are we saying?
No one's saying anything, so we'll see you next time, everybody. That's it. The 2022-23 season is over. The Champions League has been decided. Manchester City have won the treble. And our season's done. It's been a brilliant year. It's been a brilliant year for football for us. Thanks to everyone that has joined us since the start, since the World Cup, throughout all the season, whether you've just tuned in tonight or whether you tuned in 2 years ago. It's been an amazing season, so thanks to every single one of you who has tuned in this season. And it's been a very long year, very long season, a brilliant one for us as a channel as we've started to grow more and more and build a community here. And hopefully next season we can just push on and do even more brilliant things. That's all for this season. However, as much as you think we may be going on break, we are not. We are back on Friday for England versus Malta, and then on Monday after that for England and Macedonia. So do not miss those crucial Euro 2024 qualifiers. But after that, we will take a well-deserved rest for a couple of weeks before, of course, I think we've got some U21 games that we may cover, and then after that, we have the Women's World Cup. We will take a break this summer, guys, at some point. May not be a very long one, but we do need a break at some point. And then after that, we'll be back for daily streams at the end of July for that Women's World Cup. And of course, then the Premier League season is not far from that. But yes, that is all for the 2023 season. That is all from us this season. Thanks from everyone here at TFC. Good dream, people. See you next time. See you, Chelsea fan. See you, Nick Nack. Thanks to all our loyal supporters tuned in to a lot of streams this year. And that's all from us today, though. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next season.